walking on a tightrope, and I wish I could touch the ground. My future's covered in smoke, but my head is up in the clouds. And maybe this will all fade after one bad day, and I'll be okay. But my life is in the worst place, and I can't wait for heartbreak from my mistakes. I don't wanna burn these bridges anymore. It's easy to say things you don't mean when you're at war. I'm just too tired to fight, but there's an end in sight. Wave the white flag, I'm yours tonight. 'Cause my heart can't take these heights. I need your love with me for life. I need your love, I need your love with me for life. Sorry it happened this way. Sorry, I need your love with me for life. Sorry it happened this way. I know I made one mistake. I need your love with me for life. Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. 'Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect, oh yeah. But I know I can make it work. I know I can make it work. I'm crazy, everybody knows my name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain, and I don't even know my name. It's a story about a ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy. But I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. 'Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams. I know I'm far from perfect, oh yeah. But I know I can make it work. I know I can make it work. I know I'm far from perfection, but I know I can make it work. I'm crazy, everybody knows my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain.
You tell me you love me, you kiss and you hug me, have some fun. I give you a smile, hang around for a while. You're the only one that breaks my walls. Now baby, I'm all for it. And every time that I pick up the phone, I love it when you say my name. I love it when you say my name. I love it when you say my name. I love it when you say my name.
Hi. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh my God. Why is it so loud? It sounds really goddamn loud on my end. Hi, everyone. Hello. At least it's working. I mean, normally we can't even get it to work right? So at least that's, I guess, some level of benefit. Hello, everyone. Let's see who we have here, shall we? Let's see who we have. Let's take a look, see, shall we? Thank you, Drizella. Thank you. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see who we got. Who do we got here? We got brother, what is that stream title? Isn't it fun for a moment? Don't you like the stream title? I thought it was fun. It's kind of a conglomeration of different ideas. I couldn't settle on one, so I just decided to throw it all together into a misshapen mash, you know. Kind of like God did with the human body, huh? Okay. Meowser, thank you. Meowser, that's so nice. Thank you. That birth Oh, that's cute. That birthday shit. That's hilarious. Thank you, Meowser. It's like a little bear. Aw. Okay. That was great, Meowser. Thank you. Demosthenes, hello, hello. Uh, hello. Vaporous, let's see here. Druzilla, hello. Is it better to do nothing with Rizz? Yes, Druzilla. Doing something with Rizz is at least better than doing nothing without Rizz, okay? Like if you should do nothing with Rizz at least, okay? Um the Democrat exactly, Denizen. They won't. They won't. And why exactly my point, Denizen. All right. Well, hello, Denizen. By the way, it's basically every radical left influencer. What the hell? TJ. Okay. Um, TJ, somehow the difference between a politician and an influencer is Riz. That's fair, TJ. That actually is that's a good way of looking at it. Thank you. You're implying I have Riz. Thank you. All right. I'm barely an influencer, but okay. Why'd you spell bear Bare? Meowser? You're triggering me. I'm triggered. I'm triggered as a teacher. Uh, or a group of missing. That's a good Pokemon reference there. I love doing that cheat code when I was younger there, Demosthenes. All for those who don't know, Vaporeous Orb 6 is Demosthenes. Hello, Retro Asher. Hello, glad to see you here. Yeah, I'm missing a PTSD. Happiest of birthdays to our great leaders, Sam, Victoria, you know just what to say. Thank you. Yes. Yes, please, everyone, throw the roses, throw the roses. Let's see the military parade. Let's see the military parade. And when I die, I hope you'll embalm me and put me in a glass case in the middle of Red Square. That's all I really want. Okay. Mr. King K, a whole gang of ICE agents broke down a woman's door, entered her house with kids inside, and well, happy birthday to you too, Mr. King K. Jeez, you got to go right into it, don't you? Got to go right into the horrors. It's almost like that's more important than my birthday. I can't. Fine. Entered her house with kids with guns. It came pointed while claiming they don't need a warrant. ICE kidnapped a black woman after she got in a car crash. Oh, great. Great. Well, happy birthday to me, I guess, Mr. King K. You didn't say that, did you? Okay, you all know I'm joking, right? It's a joke because yes, the world is horrifying right now, and we should not even. Who cares about the birthday? All right. F you too, Demosthenes. F you too. All right. Happy birthday to you. Who else is celebrating the birthday? I forgot. That'd be Doug. Um, Doug is also celebrating his birthday. I don't know. Is Doug here? I don't think I saw. There's Doug. Hey, happy birthday to you, Doug. Doug is here. American Against Fear, for those who don't know, is Doug. Happy birthday, Doug. It is Lee Lane. Hello, Lee Lane. I'm doing my birthday stream. Not to be cute. Yeah, not to be confused with Doug on the right, right? I don't know why I'm holding this. This is my light controller. Look. Ooh, I can change the colors. Ooh. Okay, whatever. Meow sword. Damning with faint praise there, Malzord. Having watched some more ice stuff, I'm no longer convinced of the value of Mithril. We got our very own anarchist against peaceful resistance. Mithril, you're Antifa now. Be careful. You're Antifa now. Okay, just kidding. The time for armed resistance is near. Now, Denizen, I would never say that on live stream, but yes, it is. Okay, it is indeed. Okay, just how's it, Kay? Alyssa's here. Hello, Alyssa. Yes, the Missourians are arriving. Thank you so much, Bro Moment, for the donation. Really. It says, happy birthday. Thank you, Bro Moment. Thank you very much. I made the engineering's dean list, so first semester went all right. Second semester is a nightmare. Blunt rotation, mass, and energy balance. Oh, good luck, Bro Moment. Dear God. Hello, TJ. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through. Thank you, A Bright Love. Thank you. Hello, Rachel. Hello, A Bright Love. Thank you, Skittish Kitten, for the birthday wishes. Thank you, London. All these birthday wishes. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh my God. So nice of all of you. All right. Thank you, Konami. Thank you. I haven't seen you for a while. Thank you, Konami. TJ. God, hey, Denizen, let's not go crazy, okay? um, okay. Uh, let's see here. American against beer and was streaming mad for a second. I thought you said American against beer. Oh, God. Yeah, no, thank you. I won't let anyone like that. Do you think Walls will try to use National Guard to kick ICE out of Minnesota? No, Elliot Waffles. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think that would be a Civil War level event to turn a National Guard against a federal agency. And I don't think, as much as I like Tim Walz compared to lots of other politicians, I don't think he has the balls to do that. Nor do I think that would necessarily be the tactical thing to do right now. I mean, we could debate that. I need to think about it. It might be tactical, but I don't see him doing it. Let's put it that way. Um, all right. And then thank you for the happy birthday wish, Just a White Boy 592, who said in chat, Renee not doing so good. Ha ha ha. You're funny and probably a white supremacist, and you're not funny. I hope you got that joke. All right. Okay, guys. So you know what, bro moment? That's your problem. Beer tastes delicious. Okay. Beer tastes delicious. I was eating tree branches because I thought it was chicken nuggets. Oh my goodness, Street Cats fan. All right, you guys. So who do we got here? Yeah, they're already here, guys. So let's see who we got here. Let's see what we got here. So, guys, because it's my birthday stream, I do have some stuff like later. Hell, thank you, Burn Jobby. I'm not going to be streaming for as long as normal because I have a dinner to go to, etc. But Burn Moment, by the way, thank you again, Burn Moment, for that donation. So what I'm gonna do is, oh, you know what, Alex Shaw, I agree with you. I do agree with you, Alex Shaw. Alex Shaw says American beer is dreadful compared to the real European beer. You're right, Alex Shaw. I gotta tell you, I do agree with you there. Welcome to the stream there. So we're gonna cover a few things. The first thing I wanted to. Oh, I will. I will, Doug. He knows you now, Doug. Whenever I say Doug, he's like, "Oh, I know, Doug." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay." So, no problem, Alex Shaw. So we're gonna cover the first thing I wanted to talk about was the Democrats because I enjoy torturing all of you deeply. And this morning, the House Democrats had a press conference, and I haven't seen it. Now, um, yeah, you should try some European lagers there, bro moment, in my opinion. I like lagers. Lagers, especially German lagers, are really good. Now, that's my preference. So there are good ones and like there are, I guess, darker ones, not darker ones, but there's some other ones that are really good too. That I'm not a big of a fan of the style of, but are still really good. All right. So, Sierra Nevada organic beer is pretty good too, actually. Impotent. Yeah, exactly. So I thought this would be kind of fun. Let's see how the Democrats did in this press conference. And guys, we're not watching this to get anything of value out of it because let's be honest, we're not going to get anything of value out of it. Hello, AMA Gaming. Let's just, I want to do this as sort of a critique, right? Because come on, let's admit it. Let's not expect anything from this, but we should definitely view it as it is global solidarity. That's actually partially true. We should at least we should critique it. Let's see if we can, from our high horse over here, critique the Democrats' approach to a press conference, to their response to the Trump regime. And, please feel free to air your grievances in chat about the Democrats and their failure to act in a good way. So, I would also like to point out that yesterday there was someone posted in the Discord a, a representative a representative from Connecticut, a Democratic representative, who, by the way, is a very bizarre person. Every time I see her, she's I don't know. She's put it this way. She's unique. Who basically said, no, we're not going to try and put anything in these most recent bills to limit ICE or defund it or anything. Okay, isn't that great? So, hey, yeah, I'm not a big fan of bitter. I got to tell you guys. So, but more power to you. It's still yes, AMA. Thank you for the happy birthday. But it is okay. So, but like anyway, but I don't blame people who do it. They're good beers. So, everyone ready for this? I know I am, and because Bruh Moment donated, I will make the sacrifice of putting on the jester hat because these Democrats need some jestering. I got to tell you. And you know what? Where's my scepter? Guys, I'm always forgetting my scepter. I'm always forgetting my scepter. I don't blame the ADHD. I don't blame it. I blame my own incompetence for this. This is totally my fault. This is 100% my fault. Okay, give me a second. 1 second. I need to find the scepter. Eh. Ah, there it is. Okay, got it. All right, we got the scepter back, folks. We got the scepter. Got the scepter. I'm excited now. All right. Woo! That was an adventure trying to find this thing. Okay, so let me put this back on. I really should just keep them all in one place, right? Okay. Septeric shock syndrome. Mithril, you nerd. I love that. Yes, scepter shock syndrome. Everyone ready? Let's see what the Democrats have to say at their press conference. Let's watch the Rizz. $10. You know what? If we could gamble, I would totally gamble with all of you. I would make so much money being like, $10 says that there's like no charisma at all, at all. Nothing to inspire the working class to action. Nothing to inspire really anyone to action. So let's see what happens.
Do anything to bring down costs. It's clear that Donald Trump is unserious about strengthening our economy or making life more.
Here we go.
Do anything to bring down
costs. So he's saying that we're not that Trump is not doing anything to bring down costs. Okay, continue.
Costs. It's clear that Donald Trump is unserious about strengthening our economy or making life more affordable for the American people. Meanwhile, Democrats are laser focused on delivering real results for hard.
Could he? I don't know. Could he like move a little bit or like not read off a piece of paper in front of like literally, guys? This is like 101. You know what? Is there a way I can grade this live? Like I used to teach a speech class and like, is there a way I can do this? I would love to grade these like I'm grading a high school student because you guys like, like you always teach, you're supposed to teach your students and you're supposed to teach you teach your students in a speech class in high school that you don't read off a piece of paper. You can have note cards to remind you of what to say next, but you better be looking out at who you're talking to or at the camera. You're not supposed to just be reading off a piece of paper. It's like, what's the point then of giving the speech? Why don't you just give them the press release? So, okay, automatically, yeah, right, Louise? Exactly. He needs to calm down. Yeah, and like literally Retro Asher, any basic high school public speaking course will teach you to not do what he's doing right now, all right?
Working families here in the United States, and we aren't letting being in the minority stop us. Under Leader Jeffries' leadership, House Democrats have been able to use the few tools that we have at our disposal.
Look, Autumn, I'm sorry. I'm already going to lose my mind. Do you hear the concession automatically? Well, these are the only tools we have. These are the only tools we have. We're using the few tools we have. No show of strength. No, and by the way, they're not even using all the tools they have. So like, okay, it's like saying, well, we're really weak. There's nothing. There's like they're apologizing in advance for something they're not even trying.
To take meaningful legislative action. In 2025, Democrats successfully moved 3 discharge petitions forward, restoring federal collective bargaining rights, releasing the Epstein files, and extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Let's just stop for a minute and recognize the significance of.
I love when he says, let's not stop for a minute. Did you ever start? It doesn't even feel like we've started yet. Like, what do you mean?
That meant for millions of families.
Hello, Plant Sunshine.
While we continue to get questions about compromises and coming
global,
off
you're
of
right. You're right, global.
3 years that we asked for.
Bogus Ben.
Democratic leadership and Leader Jeffries decided that we would push this proposal for a 3-year clean extension, and we passed it with strong bipartisan support. People said it couldn't be done, but after months of sounding that alarm, we delivered bipartisan solutions.
Go! Great, guys. We do know Uh, like, we do know, though, that like, okay, we're not in the 1990s or 80s anymore, right? People aren't they're still obsessed with bipartisan solutions as if that is a selling point. I don't know about you. I don't really care about bipartisanship at this point. Really don't care about it. I'm not really looking for the fascists to vote with me on things. Okay, like, all right. I just don't. Uh, okay.
to the House to keep insurance
Yeah.
affordable.
What is this
This
bull? I'm so sick of the bipartisanship talk. Like, that is such a bourgeois. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to use my socialist language here. That is such a elitist framing of things. Like, bipartisanship for the sake of bipartisanship, civility for the sake of civility. All that does is reproduce the status quo, folks. All it is an acknowledgement that the system should return to the status quo and that we don't need significant change, because bipartisanship is automatically a concession when it comes to working with Republicans. So that it just proves that both of these parties are not working in your best interest. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, exactly, Dennis. We need. Okay, I'm so sick of it. Oh, absolutely, Denizen. If you think that they're doing well, then you must be in a privileged position because, or you're an idiot and you're brainwashed. Okay,
won't be the last
there
time
you go,
that
Mithril.
Democrats will
Yeah, but that's Mithril. Excellent point. We do know that we bipartisanshiped our way into Trump, right? Yeah, there you go, Konami. Yes, Konami. I use language that is more accessible. Let's put it that way for anyone coming in here. For the Marxists and socialists out there, we need to work on the language we use, so we don't anyway, but okay, they're not elite. Uh, well, Konami, in sociology, sociologists use the word elites to describe the people with with the most significant power in society. So it's not meant as a compliment, all right? Anyway, but I get what you mean. All right.
work to break through the partisan divide to deliver for our constituents. Now it's up to Leader Thune to join Democrats in sending this legislation to the president's desk.
Yeah, guys.
So millions of Americans can afford health care in 2026.
Great. Afford healthcare. Notice the language here, folks. Afford healthcare. Not have healthcare, afford it. And by the way, affording it does not mean that you are doing well. Like, if I make $100 a month and my healthcare costs $99, technically I can afford it. You see what I mean? So, all right.
Next up, Vice Chair Ted Lieu.
Thank you, Chairman Aguilar. My prayers go out to Renee Good and to her family and friends.
Oh, great.
She was a U.S.
Here comes the thoughts and prayers.
citizen, a Christian, and a mother of three. This tragedy was completely preventable. And I asked the federal government to cooperate with local and
In
state
your groove, welcome in your groove. Yeah, right. So privileged to give these morons more of our tax dollars.
officials who are doing investigations. We need to have fair and transparent investigations. And when federal officials do not cooperate with state and local officials in the investigation, it leads American people to think, what are you hiding? Are you covering something up? So for full transparency, we
Drusilla.
need everyone to cooperate.
Do you hear that, guys? Like, literal thoughts and prayers bullshit. Thoughts and prayers bullshit. Okay? Like, the Democrats are doing it too. And by the way, notice how he mentioned that she's a Christian and she is a citizen. If she wasn't a Christian and she wasn't a citizen, would that have made it better? Would that have made it better that she was killed? Okay.
Happened. And I also asked ICE leaders and the administration to tone down the rhetoric. ICE commander
This is what I hope this isn't too boring for people. But like, all right. Here we go back to the civility politics bullshit. Like, oh, they just need to tone down the rhetoric. They're constant, like, they sound like tone down the rhetoric, tone down the rhetoric, tone down the rhetoric, right? Okay. Yeah, me too, Meowzor, but we're gonna keep watching it, but
Greg Bovino last night made a post that
yeah.
essentially called protesters, quote, cannon fodder. He needs to delete that post or he needs to resign. The
Yeah,
American
Denizen.
people are not cannon fodder.
Yeah, in your groove.
We have the absolute First Amendment right to witness what ICE is doing publicly, to film what ICE is doing publicly, to photograph what ICE is doing publicly. We are protected.
But taking no legal action, apparently not passing any bills or anything to defund them, because guess what? Congress has the power of the purse. So maybe you could actually do something about it.
Protected by the Constitution, and if Greg Bovino and the administration doesn't turn on their rhetoric, it's going to cause more people to get killed. Now I'd like to talk about Venezuela. Donald Trump posted that he is the acting president of Venezuela. Now I want to tell you what a great job the acting president of Venezuela is doing, because the U.S. Embassy this weekend literally sent out a warning notice asking all Americans to evacuate immediately because the United States government cannot keep Americans safe in Venezuela. There are roving militias going around trying to find U.S. citizens.
By the way, that was deeply predictable. I told you all about the colectivos, right? Like, okay.
And the reason the acting president of Venezuela, Donald Trump, sucks at running Venezuela is because he sucks at running the United States of America. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing.
Oh my God, he slightly made my blood pressure go up by saying that Donald Trump sucks. Like, slightly. Like, that was might have been the most my blood pressure has risen watching this thing. The most excitement I've gotten throughout it. And my eyes are still at half mast. So, okay. Because he sucks at running Venezuela. You know what he also did? He violated international law and killed a bunch of people doing it, and kidnapped the head of state of a foreign government, and is now threatening Greenland. Like, okay, yeah, oh, very harsh words, guys. Did you know that Donald Trump sucks? Yeah, did you guys know that Donald Trump sucks? It's almost like, is he just learning this? Did he just find this out?
Rocketing, food prices are increasing, and we have energy prices like electricity surging.
By the way, guys, there is a much better way to approach talking about economic suffering. It's called using empathy. Something, right, Mr. Kincaid? Bill does know he sucks. Like, okay, guys, I'm not planning to ever run for office, but like, if I were in this position, use empathy. Don't be like, food prices are up. Like, okay, don't make statements that are just facts and data. I'm sorry to say, in politics, that doesn't work. Talk about someone. Say, you know what brings a tear to my eye? When I hear about that single mother who has 2 kids who cannot afford her groceries, or when I go to a public school and I hear about the students who cannot afford school lunch, and so they're going into debt, these children going into debt, like, talk about how it's affecting people. Empathize. Do not do this like detached, the numbers are up, the numbers are down, food prices are up. Connect with people. How is that affecting you? How is that affecting people? What is it making them feel? Okay, what kind of suffering is it causing? Yeah, exactly. He's on the right path, but he's just not saying it. All right, and obviously, okay.
In many places, we asked Donald Trump to be the president of America, not the president of Venezuela. I'm honored today that we are joined by amazing.
That is a dumb statement. I'm sorry. He made it. The look on his face. He doesn't really have much of an expression, but the look on his face was one of like, "Oh, I got you. Make him be the president of America, not Venezuela." Okay, not really the kick-ass line you were thinking it was.
Veterans. I happen to be a veteran myself. We've got Derek Tran, Maggie Goodlander, and Jason Crow. I'm honored to introduce Jason Crow, who prior to Congress already served America in so many ways.
By the way, guys, do you know why someone tell me in chat, do you know why they do these rotations where like one at a time they come up to the mic and talk? It's very self-evident. Do you all know why they're doing it? Because if this was a functional government, they would find the most charismatic, best speaker and put them up there and have them make the points. Rather, they cycle through people. Why? Why are they cycling through people up here? Anyone want to guess? Okay. That's partially it, Demosthenes. Can you what benefit would each of them get from doing that? Let's put it that way. I guess, yeah, that's a good point, Demosthenes. So it's to make themselves look good, right? For the sake, yeah, like it's to make them, it's for campaigning, right? It's to give them a chance to appear like they're the ones taking action. Virtue signaling, exactly. It's not like if you really wanted to spread a good message instead of doing something just for the sake of your political power, you would find the most rizzy person to get up there and say these things, right? And to do it with great. So it's all about political brownie points for them. They're cycling through all these boring people so that they can go back to their constituents and show them the video and be like, look, I was fighting for you. I said these things. Okay. There are some the guys, and I'm not a fan of Corpo Dems, but there are some Corpo Dems that are pretty good at speaking. Like, trying to think of one. What's his name? Not I did say Rizzy. Forgive me, I meant Rizz. Okay, I'm having his mind blank. Rankin, Jamie Rankin or whatever his name is. He's pretty good at speaking. Not a big fan, but I'm saying like you could James Taurico, absolutely. Like get someone up there who can actually speak rather than doing this mind-numbing rotation of the most boring politicians you have, just for the sake. Okay, like are there congressional rules I'm unaware of? Like if they got there and got fired up like the New York mayor. Nope. They could get censured, Meowser, but censure doesn't mean anything. Censure doesn't mean anything. It's all it is like you did something bad, we're censuring you. It doesn't mean anything. But they're weak and they're scared of that sort of thing. Okay? They're weak and scared of it. All right?
Combat veteran, earning many recognitions, including the Bronze Star, and he's a great representative from Colorado. Jason?
This is what I'm saying. We need people who are brave. It's okay to be censured, by the way, if you're saying the truth.
Thank you, Ted. As a 3-time combat veteran, I get pretty damn hot when a 5-time draft dodger like Donald Trump pounds his chest and bangs the war drums in Washington talking about sending boots in the ground. We're not even a year into this administration, and President Trump has bombed 7 countries. He doesn't seem to see a problem that doesn't think he can bomb his way out.
Exactly in your group.
I learned years ago that when elites like Donald Trump bang the war drums and pound their chests in Washington, D.C.
By the way, guys, I would like to point out, as I mentioned the censuring thing, remember, there were a ton of congressional Democrats who voted to censure Rashida Tlaib. I can't remember. I forget who was it. Was it Rashida Tlaib or was it Ilhan Omar? A bunch of them voted with the Republicans to censure her. One of them, I can't remember who it was, when she said something, I don't know, something pro-Palestinian. A bunch of them voted with the Republicans to censure her. So, like, all right. All right. There you go, Konami. There you go, Konami. Exactly. My pittance ravaged by taxes, paying for the debt on our flat currency that we haven't abolished yet, that I exchanged my time for fractionally to rent the company owner's equipment to allocate. Oh my God, Konami, you're brilliant. Very good. Okay.
And talk about sending troops into the ground or into combat. He's not talking about his kids. He's not talking about all of his minions' kids. He's talking about kids like me and the people that I grew up in working class areas, rural places around the country that have to pick up rifles, jump in the tanks or helicopters and do the thing, and do the tough work. Well, America is over it. America is
the tough war crimes.
Over the $3 trillion we've spent. The quagmires of failed nation.
Quagmires, not Quagmires. Quagmires.
Building. The sending of our sons and daughters and brothers and sisters to enrich oil executives.
Okay. I back that. There you go, G-Soup. Hello, G-Soup. I back that. I like that idea of talking about sending. Now, what he should do next, guys, if he were Strawn and he were actually on the left, he would pull out a piece of paper and list all the Democrats and Republicans who are accepting massive donations from oil corporations. Like, friends and foes alike, because they're not friends. He'd be like, you know what? We keep sending people to die for oil industry. Wonder why that is. Well, look, I have a list here. It looks here like Chuck Schumer receives this much money from the oil industry every year. Do we think that has something to do with it? He has a platform. He could do it. He could. Okay.
America is over endless adventurism using our military because they want their infrastructure rebuilt. They want quality, affordable health care.
But of course, guys, that would make all of his peers mad at him, right? They'd be angry at him. They'd be very upset. Can't upset them because what matters more are your peers versus your events versus the American people and the fact that we're being killed for the oil executives and the planet's being destroyed. Okay.
They want to be able to afford groceries. They want to be able to afford a home. They want to be able to send their kids
Right, Mithril.
to school. Those are the things that we are relentlessly focused on.
No, you're right. You're right, Elliot.
As a Democratic caucus. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a time for strength. There is a time for standing by our allies.
There's a time for war crimes.
And there are certainly times where our military has to go to keep us safe. But what have we accomplished in Venezuela? The Maduro regime remains intact. Sitting here today, 2 weeks after this mission, the Venezuelan people are under more oppression than they were before because of the crackdowns. Americans are at greater risk. The cartels are running rampant and free with no crackdown whatsoever. And the drugs that actually are killing our children, fentanyl.
Of course they do, Denizen. Of course they do.
On meth, don't even come from Venezuela. They come from other countries. So I want to know how many billions of dollars this administration has spent to remove somebody that Donald Trump simply does not like and put in another dictator that he thinks will do his bidding.
You know what? What's this guy's name?
I want to know.
Let's do a little experiment, folks. What's this guy's name?
Don't even come from Venezuela. They come from...
I need to go back, guys. Trust me, I'm doing this for a reason. We're not going to re-listen to it. I just want to find his name.
Pretty damn hot when a 5-time draft
served America in so many ways as a combat veteran, earning many recognitions, including
okay, we're going to do an
Bronze
experiment.
Star, and he's a great representative from Colorado. Jason?
Jason what?
Donald Trump to be the president of America, not the president of Venezuela.
Look how badass you think he is. Looking
I'm
right
honored
into the
today
camera.
that we are joined by amazing veterans. I happen to be a veteran myself. We've got Derek Tran, Maggie Goodlander, and Jason Crow.
Jason Crow. Let's look it up, shall we? Let's look it up. Okay. Open secrets. Anyone know? Everyone knows this. I used to use this site for research and stuff. It publishes data about who donates to politicians, publicly available data. So let's see here. Let's look up Jason Crow. This is the guy we just saw. And you know what? Maybe he isn't as bribed as other people, but you know, I suspect a guy talking this big. Jason Crow, am I spelling that right? Jason Crow, Rep. Jason Crow, Colorado. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look. He's a millionaire, of course. Now, let me see here. Summary. All right, let's see here who donated to him. Oh, guys. Don't we love it? Don't we love it? Look who has donated to the guy we were just listening to, claiming to be on our side. I'm gonna really go in on here. This is why it's important, guys. When you're analyzing a politician, please look at who donated to them. It's a very quick and easy way. There you go, A Bright Love. Look. Palantir, Dish Network, that J Street. Do we know who J Street is? Okay, I'm so glad I did this. Oh, we found. He also got about $90,000 from securities and investments firm, so Wall Street. So this guy has slightly more Rizz than the last one. So slightly more Rizz than the last one, but still not a good guy. All right, okay. So thank God for the Democrats. They certainly are looking out for us, this guy. And look, oh my God, look at this. I'm sorry, I got to point this out too. 55% of all the donations to his campaign, of all the money that went to his campaign, came from large individual donors. So they came from wealthy people. All right. 50% of all the donations that funded his campaign came from the wealthy. Only 28% came from people donating $200 or less. Okay. So when you hear the Democrats up there, even if they sound slightly better, yeah, Meowzord, even if they sound slightly better, just look at who's donating to them. Look at who's donating to them. As a matter of fact, now that we know that, who is this first guy? Let's look at all of them.
To take meaningful legislative action. In 2025, Democrats successfully
Yes, sir, I have a
moved
treat for you. AOC is actually okay when it comes to donations, and I say that because she refuses to accept corporate donations. I think she only accepts small dollar donations. I could be wrong, but yeah, we can take a look at AOC too. Does that mean she's perfect? No, but she's definitely better than a lot of the Democrats up there, okay?
Meanwhile, Democrats are
Okay, let's find what this guy's the donations for this guy. All
My
right.
prayers go out to Renee Good.
What is this guy's name?
Democrats will work to break through the partisan divide to deliver for our constituents. Now it's up to Leader Thune to join Democrats in sending this legislation
Exactly,
to the
Dean
president's
Demosthenes.
desk so millions of Americans can afford health care in 2026. Next up, Vice Chair Ted Lieu.
Thank you, Chairman Aguilar. My prayers go out to Renee Good and
There
to
you
her
go,
family
gentlemen.
and friends. She was a U.S. citizen.
Wait, what was his name?
Millions of Americans can afford health
Forgive
care
me.
in
Let's take a look here.
2026. Next up, Vice Chair Ted Lieu.
Thank
Okay,
you, Chairman
Ted Lieu.
Aguilar.
Let's look up Ted Lieu.
My prayers go out to Renee Good and
By the
to
way,
her
guys, again,
family
this
and
is a great way.
friends.
I used to teach my
She was
students
a
how to
U.S.
do
citizen,
this. Oops.
a Christian,
Sometimes
and a
with
mother of
pushback
three.
from the administration.
This tragedy was completely preventable.
Why is it not?
And-
Okay. So looking up this, by the way, Open Secrets has won tons of awards for being an excellent site for this thing. It's a nonprofit. Jace, what they say, Lou? Did I spell that wrong? I probably spelled it wrong. Lou. Alan Lou, is that what it was? Sorry, I need to.
Mother of three. Thank you, Chairman Aguilar.
To the president's desk so millions of
Let's take a
Americans
look.
can afford health care.
Ted Lieu? Okay, Ted Lieu. Forgive me. I already couldn't remember it. Ted Lieu. Oh, Ted Lieu. There we go. Ted. Ah, there we go. Ted Lieu. Okay. So let's take a look here at who donated to his campaign. Well, first of all, okay, who is shocked by this? His top donor is our favorite. Okay, is our favorite donor. Can we all see who it is? His top donor is. I'm just really trying to highlight this, guys. Really trying to highlight this. Did we see who it was? Everyone know what that is? That is AIPAC, the American Israeli Political Action Committee. His number one donor is Israel and the Israel lobby, who wants to commit a genocide. So, okay, let's go down, though. Let's see what else. Number one donor is AIPAC. What else we got here? What else we got here? Large individual contributions. He's even worse than the last guy. 60%. Large individual contributions. All right. And okay, and then let's see who what else, like who the biggest donors are in terms of industries. Since we now see that he's a monster in human form. Okay. So obviously the most Google is one of the biggest donors to him. Of course, number one by about double anyone else is the AIPAC. Some of these I don't even know what these are. Let's look it up. Let's look closer. Okay, 60% come from the wealthy, and okay, let's see here. Oh, Belkin, Netflix, McDonald's. What else do we got here? Microsoft. Oh, great. Here we go. A weapons manufacturer. We also got Northrop Grumman. Good. Love that. Love that for us. Great. Great. So, again, folks, I don't think we're going to watch more of this, to be honest with you. I think we get the idea, don't we? I just wanted to make the point here. The Democrats lack Rizz. You know, actually, we can look up AOC. Someone asked me to look up AOC. They completely lack Rizz. They're not actually fighting, and they're not there for you. All right? They are part of the ruling class. They are also deeply corrupt. All right? So let's just be clear about that. And you know what? Let's look up AOC because, like I said, and I do mean this, as AOC is not as bad in terms of donations. I can guarantee it. That's one of the reasons she was so popular. Okay, but still, once you're in that system, it is hard. It's hard to not go along with the crowd. All right, let's go here. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. Oh, that's news. We need to go back. Open secrets. So, top industries. Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe she is bad. Uh, some of these, it used to be that she didn't accept big donations. Federal, congressional. Okay. So let's see here. Top 20 industries. I need to see a list of actual who the people donating to her because they also will sometimes. Oh, that was the wrong page. Let me see here. Summary. All right. Oh, you know what? I may have been wrong, guys. I didn't realize maybe in her most recent campaign, she started accepting big donations. She literally didn't used to. See, but this is why you got to be careful. Because look, it looks like her top contributor was Google. So, yeah. No, guys, I can promise you that, because I looked up these before, that and she didn't used to have any big donations. It must be that in her most recent election, she started doing that. So she actually has Google, Apple, City University of New York. This might actually explain why she suddenly started changing her tune on a lot of things. By the way, though, I will say one slight difference is that she almost 70% of her donations to her campaign came from small individual donors. So the majority of the donations to her campaign did come from the average person, 70%. So that at least is slightly better. But she still is accepting donations, relatively small donations, I guess, compared to other people. But still, she did accept donations from some wealthy folks. So let's take a look here at, you said Ilhan Omar. Let's look up Ilhan Omar. Oh, okay. Let's look up Ilhan Omar. Okay. She did get a big donation. She got $25,000 from Nvidia, but so that is out of almost $8 million she raised. So that isn't bad. That's still not great compared to the other people. Though, let's see what percentage she rose. Yeah. Oh, Ilhan Omar is actually worse than Ocasio Cortez. She got about half of her donations from the wealthy or from large individual contributions. A little bit more. So that's unfortunate. But I guess some of the people donating to her are Amazon. Again, these are I'm not defending this. I'm saying these are small amounts compared to the others. Okay. So, okay, let's look up Zoran Mamdani, who I suspect hasn't gotten any. Like a lot of these folks didn't used to get anything bad donations. Okay, let's take a look here. Zoran Mamdani. Oh, thank you. You sent it, Konami. So let's look up Zoran Mamdani. All right, now I literally don't see anything except for Meta, but Meta only gave him $100, which, okay. Let's take a look more fully here. Summary. All right. Top industries. So, I mean, I need to find the absolute details here. So he got $5,000 from unions. He got $2,500 from securities and investment. Yeah. Now I don't know. All right, but I want to find how much money he got from the average person. Labor. I need to find like a ranking. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, look, the vast majority okay, what really matters, guys, I will say this, is that, like, the majority that's not his mayoral race, Konami? Okay, then I can look up his mayoral race, I'm not sure. This says it's data for 2024. Oh, that's New York Assemblyman. Okay, let me go back. Uh, Zoran Mamdani. The data for his that other run might not exactly be out yet because it typically takes a while to let's see here, guys. Nope, that's the assembly race. I can't find his. They may not have uploaded his mayoral race yet, but even then, guys, very small amount came from corporate entities. The vast majority came from labor unions. Okay, the vast majority came from labor unions. All right, so yeah, virtual violence. That's why I'm pausing here. You have to understand, guys. I know I showed you Alexandria Ocasio Cortez and stuff. Like most of her donations come from working class people. Yeah, she got some small donations from other entities, but most of it comes from working class people. So in that way, that's what mainly matters. But or like Mamdani here, the majority of like the vast majority of the donations came from the labor because you have to understand when you're in office, you have to decide things like are you gonna side with the labor unions who funded 60% of your campaign, or you're gonna side with Google who gave you $100? You see what I mean? So the main here thing are the fact that there are politicians bought by these companies. Like the Democrats we showed you, the majority of their money coming from the wealthy, coming from big corporations. Okay. I know, Alyssa. But again, I don't want you guys to think uh I don't want to overstate this in that I studied this shit and I was surprised by Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. She didn't she didn't used to accept that much, okay? But I will say for the rest of for like Mamdani and for that wasn't that is it's not bad at all. That was when he was an assemblyman too. We don't know how it was for when he was a mayor. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But so give Mamdani a chance for now because I don't know how his mayoral campaign went in terms of donations. All right. All right. So guys, uh yeah, no, Meowser, you're right. And that's why I feel like I'm misrepresenting some of these folks. I'm not misrepresenting the Democrats. This sounds like I'm being biased. But the main thing you need to look at is who gave the majority of the money. Okay? And for most of them, the majority of the money came from big wealthy people and corporations. For Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the vast majority of her money came from everyday people, which means she's going to be more reliant on them. Okay, you guys understand that? Um, but like at the same time, it's still a problem, right? That we got these donations out there. Okay. So guys, uh we yeah, no, Vaporeous Orb, and that's what bothers me, guys. Like that's what bothers me is that I wouldn't make it as a politician. I'd accept the donation. There you go. Then proceed. And you can do that, by the way. There's nothing stopping politicians from after they've accepted these donations going, sorry, not gonna listen to you anymore. Sorry, not gonna listen to you anymore. All right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, guys. Okay. So, anyway, be aware of that. Just be aware. I highly recommend if you're ever looking at like you know what? Let me do one last one. Someone mentioned James Talrico. I don't trust him, but let's take a look at who donated to him. Yeah, there you go, Dolly Boy. Hit him with the Theodore Roosevelt strategy. Okay. Talrico. I keep hearing lefty progressives talk about Talrico, but I just don't trust him. So let me see here what he is. Let's see what his donations are. Donor lookup, donor lookup, vendor profile, Talrico. Why? Okay. What's his name? James Taurico? Did I write that correctly? James Taurico? Huh. Why don't they let me? All right. I don't see any. I can't find his info. I don't know where he is, guys. Well, maybe, oh, Talarico. Did I spell that wrong? Looks like I spelled it wrong. Whatever. Okay. So I'll maybe some other time. I can't find his info. All right. Am I? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, I'm curious. That doesn't mean, folks, I'm saying you should vote for MAGA, right? I'm just saying this is why we need some major changes. Thank you. Thank you, Dolly Boy. Thank you for the happy birthday. All right. So, guys, I just wanted to show you, like, we watched a little bit of the Democrats here. It was underwhelming. It was underwhelming. And there's a reason why the Democrats fail us. They're bribed to fail us because they're not here for you. They're here for their donors. Okay. This has been studied. As a matter of fact, guys, I can show you. Was it a Princeton study? Princeton study shows America. Here it is. Okay. That's right. Oh, that's right. Martin Gillens and Benjamin Page. Let me show you guys something so you know I'm not just being political. There is a famous study that was done. This was done in 2014. It's gotten worse since then, called Testing Theories of American Politics, Elites, Interest Groups, and the Average Citizen. And these researchers from Princeton did a study where they took they looked at 1,779 policy issues. So policy things that people have debated, and they found out the following. Multivariate analysis indicates that economic elites and organized groups representing business interests have substantial independent impacts on U.S. government policy, while average citizens and mass-based interest groups have little to no independent influence. The results provide substantial support for theories of economic elite domination and for theories of biased pluralism, but not for theories of majoritarian electoral democracy or majoritarian pluralism. So they did a very comprehensive study that basically showed, exactly, Denizen, that basically showed that objectively, the United States is not a democracy. Yeah, okay? And we need to be aware of that, all right? Yay. Yay. And guys, like I said, I studied this shit. As a matter of fact, let me show you something else. If you want to, this sounds conspiratorial. I promise you should look this guy up because he's well known among sociologists. Okay, Who Rules America? This is a sociologist who studied links between what he tried to understand who are the elites that we talk about. Okay, who are the elites? Who counts as an elite? Being rich doesn't automatically make you an elite. Okay, I'll explain. All right, who rules? Although I don't like the rich. Who rules America? It was written by what's his name? Domhoff. Okay, I recommend you look this guy up. He is a very famous sociologist. One day, want to hear why you don't trust him, CR? Okay, don't trust who? Yeah, Outer Signal. I've got to look into him. I don't trust him because I haven't looked into him. It's not that I don't know. I know anything about him that would make me not trust him. I just need to look into him, literally. Okay. Okay. So I know Denizen. Doesn't mean that what he said. I had lunch with him, Denizen, but anyway, I know I brag about that all the time, guys. Okay. So Domhoff has this website. You can go to it. He wrote a book. Called Who Rules America, and he made a chart showing connections between people of the elite. So the elites of the United States, a lot of them are on corporate boards, on the boards of nonprofit organizations, and they're all connected to each other. Like, so for example, you might have like Oprah Winfrey on the board of a company, and then also on that board might be, I don't know, Elon Musk. I know I'm kind of throwing out names here. And then he is also on the board of another company, thus giving them both a connection to Oprah. They all have these connections to each other. It is like a community of elites, all right? That sounds conspiratorial. It is not. They have very tight social connections to each other. And if you're curious, what you can do is this. So you can go to William Domhoff's site and you can go to, where is it? Where's the search? He has a Power Elite database, and you can search the names of elites, and it will show you what boards of companies and stuff they're on and what other elites they have connections to based off that. So, for example, let's throw one out there. Let's put what's his face. I don't know. Help me think of one. Name an elite. Name an elite. Who should we put up here? Name someone who's an elite. Name someone who's an elite. Maybe Zuckerberg. Adelson. Oh, good one. Let's do Adelson. There you go. Sheldon Adelson. He has the Las Vegas Sands, the Tulsa Community Foundation. So look, Adelson is on the Las Vegas Sands, which includes all of these people who which give him connections to all these people. If we then click on these people, so let's say, so he's on this board with Sheldon Adelson. Sheldon Adelson's on the board with these people. So let's click on someone else. Let's go to Mark Levin. That automatically gives him a link to all these people because they're all connected to each other. Okay, let's try Bezos. All right, here we go. Oh my God, look at this. Insane. So Amazon.com, he's on that board, which has a bunch of connections. He also is on the Business Council, which gives him a connection to oh my God, look at all these people he has a connection to that are in the elites, okay? Including IBM, Dow Chemical, Citigroup, ExxonMobil, Procter & Gamble, American Express, United Technologies. Folks, all these people know each other. I know that sounds weird and it's hard to believe, but there have been studies on this. The elites have a lot more interconnections than we do, which makes it so that they have a sort of class consciousness. They're very aware of their position, and they often work together against our interests to protect themselves. There you go, Alyssa. They do. It has been proven, and you can look up either the study I showed you, Theories of Power, or you can look up Who Rules America. And I got to tell you, remember when I did that presentation on Marxism? Does it kind of sound like Karl Marx might have had a point? I know I'm a radical lefty or whatever. But remember how he said that you have the bourgeoisie who control things, and then the rest of us are just kind of fodder for the bourgeoisie, and they seem to work together against the working class? Like, it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Okay. Konami, yes, 6 degrees of separation. And by the way, another issue here, yeah, I know, Denizen, trust me. Okay, so do you see what I mean? So how does that happen if the Democrats are representing our interests? Then how does this happen? They aren't representing our interests. They aren't. All right. That's the issue. Yeah, for a moment, it's almost like the bourgeois, the elites, have class consciousness, and then they prevent us from having class consciousness by dividing us. There are many more of us than there are of them. Many more of us than there are of them. So how do you fix that problem? How do you, guys, literally, list it in chat. What are some ways that the working class are divided amongst each other so that they don't work together against this small group of elites? List it. What are some ways that us people in the working class are divided? Okay. What do we think? Religion. Yes. If you're got to be Muslim or Christian, and if you're not one of those things, if you're an atheist, bad. We don't like the Muslims. We don't like the Christians. We don't like race. If you're black, you must be inferior. If you're white, you must be an oppressor of the black. Okay, which that does happen, but you see my point here, right? Yep, there you go. Okay, left versus right. Right now, Dennis, and I know what you mean, but like we all know though that like left versus right is basically Republican Democrat. It's not actually like the left, but like anyway, yes, okay. Blame the immigrants, right? Blame the immigrants. Okay, no, Fox Emblem, you're correct. So Fox Emblem says racism, to be fair, predates capitalism, so it's not super fair. That is a good point, Fox. Someone, may I rephrase it this way? Capitalism exacerbates it and uses it on purpose. Racism often exists separate from capitalism, but it also is exacerbated by capitalism and used. Okay. Like, okay, this is my point, guys. This is my point. When I say that fascism tries to overcome these class differences, because as soon as people start noticing it's a class difference, the owning class needs a distraction, right? So what do you do about how do you do that? Well, if people are starting to notice there's a class problem, which is what happened in the United States after the financial crisis, there you go, Denizen, which is what happened after the financial crisis in 2008. What you do is you start saying what we need to focus on is that we are all of the same nation. Jeff Bezos is an American and you're an American. All that matters is America. All that matters is America. And the enemies of America are trans people and immigrants. It's not the wealthy, it's immigrants, trans people, black people, it's Venezuela, it's the Chinese, okay? Anything to distract, anything to distract from. Okay, I'll stop. You guys get my point, all right? I know I'm kind of on a ramble today. Maybe I should post this to YouTube, but you see my point here, all right? So we need some changes, all right? I have a treat for you. Are you sure? Remember Roman slavery? Oh, you're right. Absolutely wasn't based off race back in Rome. What do you mean, though? What's your point? What is your point there? I have a treat for you. Uh, so Alyssa, I didn't say it, but you did. That's why I want a guillotine tattoo, folks. I would love a guillotine tattoo. All right, please give me that guillotine tattoo. I know, I know, a bright love. I know, I'm just an America-hating commie, but I'm just saying. All right. By the way, that's based. Okay. So, are you sure? Remember, Roman slavery 2,000 years ago wasn't based. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I just read that. I have a treat for you. What are you referring to? Yeah, you're right. But I didn't talk about slavery. I'm saying that race is often used as as a wedge issue to get people divided. Uh, it exists with or without capitalism. Racism can exist without capitalism. Let's put it that way. Okay. Um, yes. So, guys, we can debate this. You know what? I have a treat for you, and Fox Emblem. These are still debated by academics. Okay, this is still debated by academics, but like yes, so there are links between racism and capitalism, but it is true that you don't have to have racism and don't have to have capitalism to have racism. I can give you an example. In the Soviet Union, there was some racism that happened. Okay, I got to be honest with you. There was some racism that happened in China today. There is racism. It is not at like a level of it is not like at the level I would say that it is in capitalist countries, but human beings are flawed. We oftentimes like to divide each other into tribes. Some people are kind of are like, oh, they have darker skin than me. I'm scared, kind of a deal. You see what I mean? But capitalists do often use racism as a tool. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, absolutely. Um, you're correct, Fox Emblem. All right. All right, you guys. So, there's my little birthday rant for all of you. All right. What I will do here, folks, because I'm a teacher, I can't help myself. I'm going to put in the chat here for anyone who's interested. I will put in the chat here. I'm pasting it, a link to that site about Who Rules America for anyone who's interested. And again, if you're ever curious about candidates and things like that, I will also post in chat here a link to Open Secrets, which will exactly, Denizen. Okay, Open Secrets. In which case, so you guys can always go to Open Secrets if you'd like. All right. Okay. Just some interesting things to think about. And guys, I could talk about this for days. This is the stuff that fascinates me. So maybe we'll do a longer stream on all this stuff sometime. We can get down into the numbers and the weeds about elites. And I studied social control. So I basically studied how elites affect controlling the rest of us, okay, with propaganda, etc. Um, Yeah, oh, I know, Outer Signal. Yeah, absolutely. Outer Signal says that racism definitely existed before capitalism. Just read pre-Atlantic slave trade accounts of Africans by Arabs. Yeah. Yeah, guys. They exist everywhere. Um, yep. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure, Konami, for sure. All right, you guys. So this is what I want to do now. Let's do a little gay history, shall we? Yeah, I'm trying to convert all you to homosexuality. You're all gonna be queer by the end of this, because that's how that works. You're all gonna be members of the LGBTQ community. As a matter of fact, let's segregate, okay? I want all the straights out of chat right now, okay? Get out of here, you degenerates. Oh, yes, daddy. Hello, Konami. All you degenerate straights, get out of chat. No, I'm kidding. Love you all very much. So I um I saw a video and I wanted to watch it with all you. Let's do the gay outbreeders. I wanted to show a video to you that I saw. I haven't seen it actually, that I saw on my feed that I wanted to watch. And then I want to talk to you about a particular group of gay people that was interesting historically to me. Uh that many of you may have know about, but okay. I saw this
Watch this clip
video,
of
not this video. Where is it? Okay.
you wake up.
And I already have a concern with this video, so I might have some corrections to make. Um, it is, I'm half degenerate. I don't know. I don't believe in that, Trump fail. I don't think bi people exist. I don't think that's a real thing. Like Dolly Boy, there's like some mythical ghost in this chat called Dolly Boy, and then there's another one called Retro Asher. I don't believe that they exist. It's not a real thing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's an ongoing joke. There you go. Dolly Boy, I got to it before you did. You lose, Dolly Boy. You lose. All right. It's like pick a side. Hey, Denizen, more power to you, Denizen. It's not my fault that you were born flawed, okay? Anyway, I hope you know I'm joking, Denizen. All right, well, yeah, damn right, Outer Signal. You better be watching from straight jail. I don't know, Outer Signal. Outer Signal says some things that make me raise my eyebrows. I think the jury's still out on Outer Signal sexuality. Okay, and Konami. Oh, Konami's pansexual. Lovely. Yeah. Hey, Vinegar Renganoma. I don't know if I want to say that out loud, but yes, liking girl penis does count. Okay. Whatever. And Druzilla, hello, Druzilla. Okay. So all the degenerates out there, gay or straight, let's watch this video. I already have some complaints about it. And we all know Meowzord definitely not beating the allegations. Okay. So this right here is a video about, it's called, why it sucks to be gay in every culture. Now, for those who know history, this is a kind of a bad way. I got you, Vinge. Kind of a bad way to frame it. Regardless, it hasn't been easy in a lot of cultures, but let's just watch it real fast together. I'll make some commentary. And then I want to tell you about, yes, Druzilla, you can stay. Fine, fine, fine. All the straights out there can stay, I guess, if we have to be forced to have your company. Fine, all right? Just keep it in your pants. We don't need any more babies, okay? We don't need any more babies out there. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm such an asshole. You all know I'm joking, right? It's like, it's but once a year that I am heterophobic. Please forgive me. Okay. All right. So, okay, thank you. So let's watch, shall we?
In Imperial China, and the nobleman you just slept with is standing over you with a machete. Not to kill you. Worse, he's cutting off his own sleeve, the expensive silk one you fell asleep on. Because waking you up would be rude, and apparently ruining fabric worth a month's salary is the ancient Chinese equivalent of changing your relationship status to, it's complicated. Congratulations, you've just been given the cut sleeve, the most romantic gesture that also doubles as a massive target on your back.
Alyssa, how dare you?
Because now the game begins. The very specific, very dangerous game of how do you go from sweeping hallways to wearing silk without every servant in the palace connecting the dots and getting you tortured to death with vegetables. Yes, vegetables.
Denizen, I don't know. I can definitely try, though, can't I?
Forcibly, until you die. That's the price of moving too fast, of disappearing at night without explanation. So you play it slow, you keep sweeping, you keep bowing. You just happen to be sweeping closer to the important meetings. Your clothes improve one thread at a time, like you're a video game character grinding for better armor. Because if anyone puts it together too soon, if the rumor reaches the wrong eunuch, the wrong official, the wrong jealous concubine.
Yeah, and then by the way, a lot of the times, gay folks that would so if you were in a relationship with someone in power, you would be the one targeted, right? The person in power would almost always never be targeted for doing that. But if you were caught, it would be very easy for the person in power to just deny it. So a lot of times in these situations, the gay man or servant would be basically thrown under the bus by his partner, or I don't even if you don't if you, I don't no, I don't want to use the word partner, by the powerful man he was engaged doing things with. Okay. Yeah, Dolly. Yep, exactly, Dolly boy. So um it was basically all on the gay guy to be careful and things like that.
You're done. And done
And this was probably worse in Europe, to be honest, because of Christian ideas.
doesn't mean fired. It means arrested, humiliated, and subjected to the kind of death that makes you wish they'd
Konami.
just gone with beheading.
Mhm.
But that's only if you're the low status one. If you're the emperor, if you're the nobleman, you can have tea house boys, theater companions, private garden tutors, whatever you want. No one questions.
And guys, this is the thing about history, right? In a lot of historical documents, you rarely hear people say, "Oh, that was his gay lover. That guy was queer and they were in a relationship." It is not a joke. You know the whole idea of, I know, right? Shocking, Vinge. That idea that, um, like, oh, they're just roommates, right? These two roommates. That kind of historical joke about room. There you go, AMA. And it is very hard as a historian. I really respect historians who are experts in the history of LGBTQ folks because you really got to sift through a lot of crap to figure out, okay, is this actually a court poet? Is this actually that? So they are hidden in the documents, okay? They are hidden in documents, but they're there. This is very similar, by the way, to women. In a lot of documents, women are sort of hidden. They're there, but they're hidden. So very same true with gay folks and queer folks. Trans folks, they're oftentimes hidden. Okay,
You.
there you
Until
go.
the Qing dynasty decides passion has a price.
There you go, Denizen. We talked about that on stream. Do you guys remember I showed you those letters from Eleanor Roosevelt? She was in a relationship with another woman, and they kept it secret. And FDR almost certainly knew about it, but no one talks about it, right? So, like, Eleanor Roosevelt was definitely in a relationship with a woman. But it's hidden, right? For a number of reasons.
1 month in prison, 100 lashes with a bamboo cane.
Oof.
But at least you're not in the Aztec Empire.
Ugh.
Because there's no playing it slow. There's just, hey! Did anyone see you? If yes, you're dead. But
now, okay. I know I'm being a bit overly sensitive about this. I do hope he talks about how the Europeans treated gays after they came over. Because, yeah, the Aztecs did not treat gay folks. It was not good, let's put it that way. But the Europeans were worse. And I do hope they talk about that. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here. I always get worried about this trying to make certain groups of people appear less civilized or whatever. The Europeans were worse, but so hopefully they'll talk about that. I want to tell you what the Europeans did, but I want to see if he talks about it. It has to do with dogs, let's put it that way. Okay?
here's the fun part. How you die depends on what you were doing.
There you go, outer signal.
If you were the active one, strangulation.
So if you were the active one, you'd be strangled. By the way, that's a way of saying top. If you were a top, I'm not going to tell you what it is if you don't know, okay?
Public execution. Quickish. If you were passive. They extract your colon first, then they burn you alive. Because
Oh, good, good. So that'd be if you were the bottom. They would extract your colon. By the way, part of that is, in lots of cultures, being the passive one is viewed as being effeminate. And that is even more dehumanized. Because women, ew, kind of a deal, right? You're right, AMA, bottoms rise up. So, yeah, oh, I know, Denizen, exactly. So that's exactly why I said that, Denizen. So I just hope they mention this. SoCal, we're talking about the history of gay people. Join us, SoCal. Okay, so, all right.
in Aztec logic, your body is an offering to the gods. And dishonoring it this way requires maximum punishment, maximum spectacle, maximum nightmare fuel. Then the Spanish show up with their rosaries and war dogs and think, not brutal enough.
Ah, good, they are going to talk about it.
They add lashes, burnings, and getting torn apart by dogs, trained
Yeah.
specifically for this.
Now, as much as I love puppies, I would not like to go out that way. I would not like to be torn to death by dogs, okay? If anyone knows who Diego, what's his name? I'm having a mind blank. Oh crap, what is his name? De Soto. He was a De Soto. He was a Spanish conquistador that explored the southern United States all the way up to them. He was the first one to come across the Mississippi River, and he brought with him armored war dogs, and he would use those armored war dogs to tear apart natives, especially ones he viewed as committing horrible acts. Okay.
Because nothing says we're civilizing you like weaponized animal violence.
There we go.
You'd think, maybe I should have been born in Greece. Everyone says Greece was chill, right? Sure. You
Relatively.
follow the rules you didn't know existed. In Athens, you can have a relationship with a younger guy, but only if he's the right age. You're the mentor. He doesn't seem too into it. And the whole thing ends exactly when he hits maturity. It's less romance and more homoerotic
Okay. I think he's overgeneralizing. You know what? I'll let him finish.
with vague rules and serious
Yeah,
consequences.
Denizen, exactly.
You meet him at the gym. You train together, oil glistening on both your skin under the Mediterranean sun. You attend banquets where wine flows and debates last until dawn. You absolutely do not admit this is just dating with extra steps. And if you mess it up, if he's too willing, or you're too obvious, your reputation is dust. You're the guy everyone avoids at the symposium. Rome takes the idea and makes it worse. Here, it's not about age. It's about position. You can sleep with slaves, prostitutes, foreigners, anyone, as long as you're the one in control. Because being passive makes you a slave, a traitor, a disgrace.
There you go.
The senator points at you across the marble forum floor. His toga billows as he turns to address the crowd. One word, Pathicus, and every head swivels. toward you. Your career ends before he finishes the sentence.
Like it's okay to have sex with the bros, it's okay to have, yeah, man, we're having some good sex because, we're in this apprenticeship type relationship. But no, you're gay? Oh, well, we can't have that. You can be in this sexual relationship, but we cannot have you being gay. That's kind of how it was. I'm kind of slightly oversimplifying, but okay.
In feudal Japan, sleeping with your master is just part of the curriculum. You're a young samurai apprentice.
Yeah, Victoria.
You learn the sword, strategy.
Victoria, that's another good point. And I didn't. I thought they were going to talk about lesbians too, but apparently I should have watched the video beforehand.
Poetry, honor, and also, occasionally, you share your master's bed. It's called wakashudo. It's a tradition. It's imbued with ideals of loyalty, sacrifice, and mutual devotion. It's completely acceptable until it's not. Because one intercepted letter, your handwriting on rice paper, the ink still wet, reaches the wrong samurai.
That's not all that was wet.
One jealous rival whispers to the daimyo, and suddenly you're kneeling in the garden at dawn, tanto blade cold against your stomach, performing seppuku because someone questioned your honor. Feudal Japan doesn't care about your feelings.
It cares about perception, for sure.
And perception is a battlefield. But at least they're not calling it a sin yet. That comes later. In ancient India, you're actually...
Thank you, Christianity, for that, by the way. And by the way, thank you, the British Empire. For all the Brits out there, thank you. Thank you for spreading your homophobic laws all over the world, including to places like Nigeria, Sudan, lots of other places, too. I'm having a mind blank.
Kind of okay. The Kama Sutra
they do,
talks about how to
it's very much a cultural thing, a sort of a shame-based culture.
Another man. The Hijra. People living as a third gender. Bless marriages, attend births, walk among royalty. In Thailand, the Catholic perform...
Yeah, and guys, in India, like gay people, as a matter of fact, well, transgender people especially were viewed as being closer to the gods because they had both male and female traits. I didn't say anything about it. So, like, as it makes you more like a god because you don't have a set... And gay people were respected. It depends on where in India and what time, but it was only later that it became a big issue, and hopefully they'll talk about that.
Kings. No one's freaking out.
Yeah.
Then the British show up with
there they are. Thank you, Dolly Boy. I'm kidding. Dolly Boy hates when I do that. I love upsetting Dolly Boy. Thank you, British out there. Okay, you know I love you. Thank you, Mithril. Okay. All right.
And 7 of the Penal Code, which criminalizes unnatural relations. And suddenly, your entire identity is illegal.
Yep.
The law written in London gets copy-pasted to India, Nigeria, Singapore, Jamaica, Sudan.
Yep.
everywhere the British decide they own. Societies that accepted you for centuries now prosecute you with imported morality. And the worst part? Many of those countries still have that law today.
Yeah, Mr. Kincaid, that's called two-spirit people. There are a lot of cultures out there, like especially in the Caribbean. There are, I think, in Haiti, there's the idea of you can have people who a different spirit inhabits their body. Like sometimes they're gay, sometimes they're straight, sometimes they're male, sometimes they're female. It doesn't matter. The idea is that a new spirit. The Native Americans had a similar idea, two-spirit. So yeah,
Decades after independence, the colonizers left, but the homophobia
yes,
stayed
it is
like
outer
a
signal.
virus. You're in Assyria now, and your survival depends on 3 rules: never show weakness, never be passive, never get caught. If you're accused, if anyone even suspects, you're castrated publicly, then executed.
Good.
Not because it's a sin.
Why'd they need to do the castration if they're executing you? That just seems a bit excessive, right? We're going to castrate you and then execute you. That actually sounds kind of gay. I think the executioner just wanted to touch their bits. Maybe they should execute him too. Like if you're that obsessed with touching a guy's bits before you execute him, maybe there's something up with you. That sounds a bit gay to me.
Because it's seen as weakness. And weakness has no place among warriors.
Yeah, Denizen.
Then the Abrahamic religions arrive, and everything changes.
Oh, God, here we go. All right. Everyone get ready for this. Here come the Abrahamic religions. I'm sure that's fair. You're right, Zogal. I'm sure that this will bring about an enlightening period whereby everyone will start treating gay people very nicely and nothing will go wrong anymore, right? You know, Jesus is love and all that shit. You know, okay, whatever, maybe. Let's find out.
Suddenly, it's not just about social codes or warrior honor. It's about your soul. Judaism says it in Leviticus. Don't do it. Christianity says don't do it. And also, you'll burn in hell forever.
Good. That's, by the way, not traumatizing at all for children. I went to a Catholic school and was constantly told that you would burn in hell for all eternity for doing things like that. Thank you. Thank you, Bad Side Guy. Not traumatizing at all for gay children, okay? To be told that they're going to burn in hell for all eternity because of something they can't help. All right?
Islam says it depends where you are. In some courts, homoerotic poetry flourishes.
Now, listen, guys. This is important. I'm glad he's pointing this out. I'm going to go back because Christianity was basically universally being gay, bad, evil, don't do that. Islam was interesting. I'm not saying it was great at all, but it varied on where you were. So let's listen.
Islam says it depends where you are. In some courts, homoerotic poetry flourishes. Ghazals celebrate male beauty in perfumed gardens until the interpretation shifts. And suddenly, the same words become evidence for execution.
Yeah.
But the key shift is this. Now it's a sin, a moral stain.
There we go. Now then it goes
Something
bad.
that follows you beyond death. You have to repent, deny who you are to save your soul. And when these religions spread, through conquest,
right, Mr.
through
Kincaid?
colonization, through empires, they bring those rules with them.
Yep.
They overwrite centuries of acceptance. They replace local customs
Like
with
the
imported
Ottomans and
shame.
stuff. All right.
Colonialism didn't just draw borders. It exported prejudice. It turned acceptance into persecution
Yep.
and called it civilization. By the 1800s,
Right, that's like a-
industrialization makes everything worse because now they can watch you. Victorian England decides heterosexual marriage is the only option. The police knock at 2 a.m. Their brass buttons catch the gaslight as they push through your door. Being caught means prison, hard labor, and your name printed in the morning papers.
Yeah,
for
right, love.
everyone to read over breakfast. The 20th century doesn't bring relief. It brings raids. You're dancing when the lights flip on. Harsh fluorescence replacing the club's soft dark.
Yeah, this is where this is what happened in the United States.
Police boots on the floor.
Police used to go into gay nightclubs and just beat the living shit out of everyone. They would beat the shit out of the drag queens. They would beat the shit out of the gay men. They would sometimes even kill them. Now that didn't happen as often, but yeah, Drusilla, it was. But then like maybe Drusilla. I can't really remember Drusilla. I could be wrong. So that's good. And that's partially what sparked the Stonewall riots were these policemen, because as we know, ACAB. So the policemen, okay.
Badge numbers you try to memorize but forget in the panic. And today, in some countries, you can marry, adopt.
Yeah,
live
Dolly
openly.
boy.
In others, you're still illegal. still punishable by prison, by execution.
Yeah.
It's the ghost of empires that no longer exist, still haunting laws that refuse to die.
Yeah, outer
You
signal.
survive by
And a matter of fact, the word pederasty, because the person who wrote that part of the Bible was talking to the Greeks who engaged in pederasty. Now, I'm not one for nitpicking the words of the Bible. I don't give a shit, and I think anyone can interpret it anyway, which is the problem. But yes, if you want to look at the original translation, it doesn't say being gay. It says pederasty, because that's the environment he was in. He was in Greece. But okay.
hiding, by lying, by fragmenting yourself into acceptable pieces. Or you fight, you resist, you refuse to disappear.
Okay.
Because being gay across history isn't a
Yes.
single story.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. I will say, limit the one. I did want to tell you. Okay. Yeah. Oh no. I got you, Bright Love, and I thank you for saying that. Really. Okay. So let me just show you here, guys. I do want to talk about. I know, right, Dennis? And isn't it funny how like the global north kind of imported all this? By the way, in Africa today, if there's any Africans out there, well, I know there's at least one in here. Maybe, and I know it's a big continent and I'm overgeneralizing, but there are a lot of evangelical and Mormon Christian missionaries that go to Africa today, and even the Catholic Church, and they are the ones that have actually made this even worse, even modern day. For example, in Uganda, basically American evangelicals were able to convince enough people there to pass a law making being gay punishable by death. So a lot of these laws in Africa that are, punish people by death for homosexual acts were promoted by American Christian groups, who, not being able to get those laws passed in the United States, decided to spread them overseas instead. I'm not joking. Look up the American Christian group called the Family. America, and by the way, also in India, there have been American Christian groups and ideas going into India to try and make people much more homophobic and much more hateful of non-traditional gender people. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah. Outer signal. Yes. Some of them are Macy. Some of them aren't. Okay. So that it's both of them. Okay. Okay. So like, you gotta love that, like how a lot of that shit over there in Africa that people are always pointing to is because of American evangelicals. I'm not even joking. You guys can look it up. Okay. That doesn't excuse it. All right. That doesn't excuse it. Like there are evangelicals that would go into African cities and towns and stuff, and they would show videos of really horrific sexual acts and then claim that they were gay sex acts, literally just traumatizing the whole village to make them afraid of gay people and things like that. Okay. Yeah. Most African country laws are written in English or French because of colonialism. All right. For sure. Now it isn't, I'm not trying to overgeneralize here. Yes, in Northern Africa, some of the laws there are not from imperialism. Some of them are linked to Islamic beliefs, but it is still, for a lot of Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa, a lot of that stuff comes from evangelicals. All right. So, okay. But, all right. I wanted to talk to you all about another group that's kind of cool. Yeah, it was an invented language, right? Learning about shit like this only enforces my misanthropy. I understand. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Meowsword. Seriously, that's kind of what they did. You guys can look it up. Meowsword says log into RedTube, click videos, and say, look at how effed up this is. Kind of. Kind of. All right. So I wanted to show you all. There was one group, one badass group of gays, I thought, from history. Now, obviously, I'm not saying what they did was moral because they were violent warriors. Has anyone here ever heard of the Sacred Band of Thebes? Oops. Sacred Band of Thebes. All right. Yeah, no, AMA Gaming, that is literally the videos that they would show. And I can't talk about it too much, guys, but AMA Gaming said, I'll never forget that video of an African dude talking about the gays eat the poo-poo. What videos do you think they would show people in these villages? Villages that have been ravaged by things like malaria, and then showing them videos of people doing things that could spread disease. You see what I mean? Okay, really gross stuff that they would do. Okay, so this is the sacred band of Thebes. Now, oh, I'm getting all hot and bothered just looking at them. Okay, I'm joking. So this is the sacred band of Thebes. Now, the sacred band of Thebes was from a Greek city-state called Thebes. Shocking, right? Yeah, exactly. Shocking. And oh, I need to find a better fear. Is this a better one? From Thebes. Who would have thought that the sacred band of Thebes is from Thebes? Okay, there we go. So here is an image, an ancient Greek image of these guys. Okay, and this was a military unit of I think around 400 men. I could be wrong. I need to look up the number. Sacred band of Thebes, who they were a very they were a small military unit of elite fighters. Okay, 300. Thank you, Konami. And all of these men were in romantic relationships. That was actually like the main reason you'd be in that group. And it wasn't, by the way, a pederasty thing. So in most of ancient Greece, it was a pederasty thing where you'd have a younger guy and an adult male. And it really wasn't, no, they would have a single partner, or sometimes they'd be in like polyamory, but I think it was mainly a single partner, TJ. And these were actual gay men. This wasn't like a pederasty thing, okay? These were guys who loved each other romantically, okay? And they formed this unit of about 300 to 400 men. I think it varied over time. And they were one of the most fiercest fighting forces in ancient. They were Sir Bartholomew, but also, like, okay, I'll tell you about the Spartans here in a second. These guys were incredibly difficult to defeat in battle. You know why? Because if you're fighting next to the guy you love, you're going to fight to the death. It's kind of romantic in a gross way, right? Like, they would not surrender. They would not surrender. And they would exactly, Sir Bartholomew. And if you're loving the guy next to you, you're going to fight real hard. And also, it became ancient Greek writers wrote about this. It also became sort of a way of showing off. Like if you love the guy next to you, you're kind of going to show off your skill to him too. So these guys would win almost every battle. Right? We need to have a bunch of gay people in the U.S. military, which I think is funny. I mean, I don't think anyone should be in the military, but you see what I mean. And okay, and the only person that was eventually able to defeat these guys. No, I agree, TJ. I think it is kind of romantic. Okay, I got to tell you, I know, but I'm gay, and it's still kind of dark, but I think it's super romantic. And the only person that was able to finally defeat these group of men was Alexander the Great. And the only way he was able to defeat them was because he was so outnumbered. I mean, they were so outnumbered. He had such a massive army. They fought to the last man to the death, and they took hundreds, if not thousands, of Macedonians with them. And when Alexander the Great, the ultimate queer man defeats them. Well, yeah, the ultimate bi man, right, Dolly boy? Yeah, okay, fine. You can take credit for Alexander the Great, whatever. Okay. Yeah, he was gay coded. We were pretty sure Alexander the Great was either pan or or bisexual. Most historians would say he probably was into both men and women. So he was a kind of a cool bi guy. So I guess bis beat the gays, Dolly boy. Okay, yes, he's yours, Dolly boy. So he ended up defeating them, and he was so astounded at how fiercely they fought that he had a funeral for them, where he had his whole military honor them for their bravery and stuff. And he probably was attracted to them. Anyway, Meowser, did you watch the Netflix show? No, what Netflix show? What Netflix show? I don't know. Okay, so just a note there: the gay scene immediately. No, yeah, I have not seen it. Netflix, the Netflix show. I need to watch it. And I'm going to show you another image here. World War II men kissing booth. Where is this image? We happen to have a ton of images from the 1950s. Oh yeah, I'm gay. Oh yeah, absolutely. A bright love. I'm shocked you couldn't tell a bright love. Yes, I am quite gay. I am absolutely flaming gay. All right. Yes. Yes, I am gay. Okay. Hello, salsa with onion. Welcome. I think I've seen you in here before. So we actually have tons of pictures, guys, with yeah, already gay. Okay. tons of pictures from like the 1940s and 50s of guys going into photo booths and taking pictures that they didn't realize that it had been kept on the photo rolls of those booths. So historians can go into the photo rules of the photo rolls of these booths and get these pictures out. And what's interesting, right, is that a photo booth offered a location where these men could do this privately, where they wouldn't be hunted down and be found guilty of sodomy laws or whatever, okay? So a lot of times gay men in romantic relationships would go into these photo groups and have a moment where they take a picture of each other, okay? And they didn't realize those pictures were saved. So we have tons of these fake pictures, and they're really adorable, okay? This is 1953. We got tons of these. Now that one I don't think is that they're actually gay, but things like this, okay? This is from the 1940s. Let's play Guess the Bottom. How dare you, I have a treat. Okay. So like, and it's very interesting, right? Of course, they're just roommates, everyone. Of course, they're just roommates. Now this one, I don't know about that one. So World War II, kissing booth. There's one that it's really famous. Oh God, wow, that was not. Oh God, there's a bunch of shirtless people. I just meant to say, I just said kissing booth men. I shouldn't have said that. I mean, oh my God, not kissing booth. Photo booth. God, photo booth men. Jesus, photo booth men. This is probably also going to be dirty. Photo booth gay. Let's look up that. Jesus, I'm going to get porn probably up on my screen here. No, I'm not. Oh, that's good at least. Images like this, okay. Now that one, they're not kissing, but this is from the 1930s. But very likely a romantic couple. Things like that. Now that could be a joke. You can tell by the one guy laughing. But you know, things like that. And they thought they were having a sort of a private space, and now we have access to all these things, and historians have been recording them. Okay, so it's been around forever. Okay, it's been around forever. Yeah, very true. Konami, he probably had a trans woman lover. I agree, TJ. I agree. And I would gladly do more live streams on LGBTQ things. Of course, you guys know the main reason I started this channel was anti-fascism, but I should represent the community more, I guess you could say, because there also is a dearth of knowledge out there about gay folks. Okay, I always knew it was a kissing booth. Of course you did, so Cal. All right. So, very interesting things, guys. A lot of interesting history out there. And it should be noted, of course, as you know, gay people are just human beings, as you all know. I need to buy this book, Photographic History of Love. Oh, I would love that, Victoria. And let me show you. Yeah, AMA. I know AMA, you've been asked. Look at this. This is cute. I've actually seen this book before. Okay. This is an image of two who just donated. Thank you, Dolly Boy. Okay. Thank you very much for the sorry, Bright Love. I've read too many historical documents, so I use words like dearth. This is, images of gay men throughout history, having pictures taken of themselves. I want to point out, too, let me show you something else. Abraham Lincoln. Now, this is a historical case where I actually don't think he was gay. Other historians disagree with me. I typically err on the side of caution when making those declarations because we don't have much evidence. But Abraham Lincoln gay. Now, let me explain the theory here. So he wrote letters with a man. Let me read a portion to you. Okay. Okay, this, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. When this shall reach you, you will have been Fanny's husband several days. You know my desire to befriend you is everlasting, but I will never cease. I know how to do anything. You will be hereafter, be on ground I have never occupied, and consequently, if advice were needed, I might advise Ron. He's saying if you were to ask me about your marriage, I might advise you Ron on purpose. I do fondly hope, however, that you will never again need any comfort from abroad. But should I be mistaken in this? Should excessive pleasure still be accompanied with a painful counterpoint at times? Still, let me urge you, as I've ever done, remember the depth and even agony of despondency, that very shortly you are to feel well again. I am now fully convinced that you love her ardently as you are capable of loving, your ever being happy in her presence, and your intense anxiety about her health. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to find here. If you went through the ceremony calmly or even with sufficient composure to not excite alarm in any present, you are safe beyond question. In 2 or 3 months, to say the most, you will be the happiest of man. So he's literally saying, if you can at least fake it while you're getting through your wedding, you'll be the happiest of man in a few months. I hope with tolerable confidence that this letter is a plaster for a place that is no longer sore. I would desire that you give my respects to Fanny, but perhaps you will not wish her to know that you have received this, lest she should desire to see it. Okay. And there are lots of letters like this where there are between him and men that have a romantic tinge in it. Okay. And we do know that he actually, TJ, like, he seems to be very hyper fixated on the fact that this guy is getting married. And he's even like, just get through the marriage and maybe you'll be able to get through it after that. And maybe she doesn't want to see this. And yeah, maybe don't ask me about your marriage because I might try to ruin it for you. Yeah, Dolly boy. And we know for a fact that he slept in a log cabin with this man in the same bed, because they talk about it in other letters. Now, this is why I am not 100% sure, because at this time period, right, men would sleep together if there was no other room. Right, SoCal, a place that is no longer sore. Um, it doesn't even matter in the context of what he would grow into. So unimportant. Oh, it is absolutely unimportant in your groove, but it's important for gay people. Historically, it's an interesting side note, but it's important to have to understand that one of the greatest presidents might have been a gay man. Okay, you see what I mean? So it is important, but it's not as important as what he did, right? But regardless, I don't necessarily think he was gay. We need more evidence. It should also be noted that men at the time talked in much more affectionate ways to each other. But it still is an interesting approach. Um, okay. Yeah, go. Yeah, guys, Frederick the Great was very gay. You know what? Okay, now that I'm in on this, let me show you, gay French swordsman. I'm going to show you another guy here. Yeah, and I know I do. You're right, Outer Signal. I do agree with Dolly Boy that it's like, or not Dolly Boy, within your groove. Like, it doesn't really matter in the end, but like it does kind of. You see what I mean? At least as an image thing. Gay French swordsman. I forget his name. That's right. Juliet d'Aubigny. Oh no, Cheval de. Okay, let me show you someone else that was very interesting historically. The Chevalier d'Eon. And I don't speak French. Forgive me. If you want to talk about trans people, this was a famous man from France, the Chevalier d'Eon, and not a man. I'm sorry. See, look, I'm misgendering her. I'm misgendering her, and I'm trying to. Oh well. So okay, this is the Chevalier d'Eon, and I don't know if you can see the image very well. Okay, there. The Chevalier d'Eon from France was a brilliant swordsman, a soldier in the French military, and would often, by the way, uh, would often she was a brilliant fighter. She was probably one of the best swordsmen in all of France. That's what she was acknowledged as. She was considered one of the best swordsmen in all of France. And she was so proficient in battle and she fought so hard for the king that the king of France gave her a dispensation to officially change her gender to female. All right. So the King of France acknowledged her as female, which was pretty crazy at the time, all right, to do that. So she was able to officially become female according to the law. Yeah, Dolly Boy. And she would literally, when she was at court, she was a noble. When she was at court, she would challenge fellow nobles to sword fights, which would result in situations like this. All right. Okay, I don't know if you can see it very well here. There are images from the French court at the time of the Chevalier d'Eon dueling in a dress with other nobles. Okay, so if you think you can't be a badass and be in a dress, you're mistaken. Okay, you see this? Like, uh, there she is dueling another noble and likely beating his ass because she was one of the best swordsmen in the kingdom. Okay. So that's fun. We could also talk about Frederick the Great. Or, I'm sorry, not Frederick the Great. We'll get to Frederick the Great. There you go. There you go, Konami. And by the way, the king would not allow anyone to criticize her. Like, you better not criticize the king. You better not criticize the Chevalier d'Eon because the king would come after you. Dolly Boy, I'm glad I started this tangent. You know, I'm stopping it now, Dolly Boy, just to spite you. I'm just kidding. Okay, I know. I'm sorry I'm on a tangent, folks. Forgive me. I know, Dolly Boy, you're trying to make me feel bad. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, SoCal. Let me show you someone else here. What is his name, Dolly Boy? You literally just said it a while back. The guy who did the Enigma machine. I'm having a mind blank. Shit. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Turing, Alan Turing, excuse me. Thank you, Dolly Boy. So, this is why, folks, I smoked way too much pot in my life. My brain kind of moves slowly anymore. Okay, so Alan Turing, I spelled it wrong. Turing was, I highly recommend, by the way, everyone see the movie. What is it called? I can't remember the name of the movie. It's a good movie, all right? Alan Turing, I forget the name of it, but it's a good movie. This guy right here. Now, thank you, A Bright Love. Please take a fat dab in my honor. Okay. This is Alan Turing. Now, Alan Turing, absolutely, Louise. Philippe, Duc d'Orléans was definitely a bi man, okay? Imitation Game. Thank you, Matt. It's like my brain is not working. It is a sad movie, Macy, but it's very good, okay? So Alan Turing was a mathematician, scientist person who is credited with breaking. So during World War II, the Nazis used basically a coded system so that the Allies could not read their communications. They had something called an Enigma machine, which would essentially take messages, garble them up in code, and then spit them out in code so that other Nazis could read them without the Allies picking up on them. Okay. Alan Turing was a gay man who basically ran a department in the UK, in Britain at the time. Yeah, in your groove. And was able to crack the Nazi code. Now, we only learned about this breaking of the code. Yeah, okay. We only learned about this breaking of the code about 30 years ago. Historians only learned about it because it was still classified. And we hadn't realized that one of the reasons that the Nazis were defeated was because we literally knew, the British and the Americans literally knew where every single Nazi U-boat was, we could hear what the Nazis were planning. We knew, like, one of the reasons why you suddenly see, like, if you look at a graph of Nazi U-boats sinking merchant ships, it's like really high and then out of nowhere it drops. And that's because Alan Turing had cracked the Nazi code, which was thought to be uncrackable. And then they were able to keep it hidden so that the Nazis weren't able to make a new code. Okay? So, right? And it's pretty awesome. But, by the way, one last thing here. It actually also caused some issues. For example, they would have to weigh should we act on this information about what we know the Nazis are going to do, or should we ignore it so that they don't know we know the information? There was one particular incident that really highlighted this. Coventry. There was a city in Britain named Coventry that the Allies got word by cracking a code that the Nazis were just going to bomb the hell out of it. And Winston Churchill had to decide, do we act on this information or do we let the Nazis bomb Coventry? Because if we let them bomb it, then if we stop them, it'll probably give away that that we know what their code is. And they had to make the decision to let the Nazis bomb Coventry. So we could have moral debates about this. And they also sometimes, there were some ships they wouldn't warn about Nazi U-boats because they wanted to make it at least appear as if they didn't know where the U-boats were. But they were able to manipulate the situation just enough that it benefited them, and it made it a lot easier to defeat the Nazis. Okay. Now then, Alan Turing was gay. And despite being one of the big figures who literally was responsible for the defeat of the Nazis and the protection of Britain and America everywhere, okay, from Nazi aggression, he was caught in a relationship with a man. And according to UK law at the time, this was, by the way, after he had done all this, and it was still classified. So they didn't know what he had done, that he had saved the UK. He had saved Britain when they arrested him. They castrated him. They castrated him as a sexual predator because he was in a relationship with a man, and he ended up unaliving himself. So it's pretty horrible, right? That this guy that was gay, who literally saved most, like the non-Nazi world partially from the Nazis, ended up being castrated and dying in obscurity because he happened to like men. Okay? I'm not trying to make you all depressed, but gay history is everywhere. It's sometimes just as hidden. Okay? Yeah, you're right, Mithro. It was definitely the Brits that captured the Enigma machine, not the USA. The USA used the Enigma. Used the what the Brits discovered from the Enigma machine, but they were not the ones who did it. Okay. So isn't that fun? Okay. When it was kind of polls. What do you mean, Loiso? I'm sorry. When it was kind of polls, what was kind of polls? Sorry. So just something to think about. Okay, just something to think about. Last person here I wanted to briefly talk about. Oh, I know, Sir Bartholomew. Okay. Frederick the Great. Frederick the Great was, by all accounts, not a pleasant man. I mean, he was from a different time. He was a very good ruler, though. He was a brilliant ruler. I obviously my lefty biases would say I'm not a big fan, but this is Frederick the Great. He was the king of Prussia in Germany, okay, in what is now Germany, and he was brilliant, okay? He created a bunch of universities, he built roads, a bunch of museums, really contributed to cultural development in Prussia, rebuilt the Prussian military to be one of the most efficient fighting forces in Europe, defeated much larger armies with a much larger force, was very aggressive, however, but he also was very well known to be gay and he by the way, he corresponded with Voltaire and he was considered an enlightened despot. So he tried to be fair towards his people. I mean, in the best way he could, given he was an autocratic leader. Dolly Boy says, to be honest, to be fair, trauma caused by his dad definitely helped. Yep, his dad would beat him to try and get the gay urges out of him, would hit him over the head with a cane. He was still a brilliant leader. If you like, without looking at morality of the time period, he was a brilliant leader. Um, uh, oh, I got you. That's fair, Loy. So that's fair. That is fair. The polls, you're right. The polls did do it too. Okay, or captured. Did a lot. Okay, we captured the machine and cracked the initial code. Correct. That is no, no, that is fair, Louis. So you're right. Okay, I should mention that the polls. Okay, so all right, so all right. So again, there are gay people all over history that we just don't. There was also a woman, but if you want to talk about a lesbian, real fast here, Catherine, Catherine the First of Russia, not Catherine the Great, Catherine the First. Though Catherine the Great may have been a lesbian, we don't think so though. So Catherine the First of Russia was very clearly a lesbian, had a relationship with women all the time. Never wanted to be married. Essentially, she ended up getting married, but wasn't really into the guy. She was definitely a lesbian though. Bi erasure. Was she bi? Maybe she was bi. I will gladly erase the bis, Loiso. From what I heard though, she was okay. Am I getting that wrong? Was she also into men? Okay. Trying to find here. Yeah, you got right. By Catherine the Great, bi erasure. Okay, so she may have been bi. I just remember reading that she was probably a lesbian, but it's possible that they think now she's bi. So okay, just some fun stuff there. All right. Yeah. Anybody knows it's plausible she wasn't, and yeah, that's true. Uh, but I was saying from the historical documentation, historians would argue she was not. She did not appear to be into men. Let's put it that way. If you read the historical documents, and what we do know though is that she was in multiple relationships with men that appear to be very indicative, or with women that appear to be indicative that something else was going on there. All right, so okay. So, regardless, folks, I'm going to put my face back up. Something else I wanted to briefly tell you in regards to this stuff, since we're random, we're talking a whole bunch about gay history, or at least gay people in history. And I know that, it's not, I've not always been a big fan of being like, oh, well, okay, there's a lot of erasure of gay people in history. That's why I'm talking about this, to show that they're everywhere. It's just that it's not really talked about much. But yeah, you're right, Mithril. Yeah, okay. So about Elizabeth I, okay? They're everywhere. We just don't talk about it. All right. They're sort of hidden in historical documents. And that's why it's a really hard job for the historians that are experts in that. One other thing I think you'd find interesting is that in the United States, for a long time, this might sound gross. All right. If a man was caught with a man in a sexual act, there would be two charges placed on both of those men. The man who was I should say, performing, or the how do I put it this way? The top in that situation, the active man, would be charged with indecency. Okay. The passive man would be charged with a much worse crime. That is very interesting. That a lot of times the legal codes surrounding gay sodomy, or I don't know if I can say that on stream, homosexual behavior would be punishing of the person perceived as, oh my God, Malzor, the person perceived as taking on the effeminate role. Okay, what they viewed as the more feminine role, and the one that wouldn't be taking on the feminine role would still be punished, but it wouldn't be as bad as of a crime. So why do we think that is? Remember what I said yesterday about masculinity and the state. The state the state does not like men that they view as effeminate. Because to the state, they want a bunch of warriors who are strong and big and masculine and don't care, okay? So a lot of times the state would create codes of justice. Exactly, A Bright Love. And I would argue that a lot of it is separate. So like homophobia is separate from misogyny, but misogyny is deeply linked up with homophobia. Okay. And it is true that one of the ways to battle homophobia is we need to also battle misogyny at the same time. Because if we construct these ideas, there's all these ideas out there of like effeminate being bad, woman less, okay? And so men, like, think about it, guys. Now, I am not for the lesbians out there, I am not, please understand, I am not saying that lesbians are treated well. But if who do you think is more in danger? Two men in a relationship or two women in a relationship? Do you think two women are more likely to be targeted, and I'm not saying they wouldn't be, for a homophobic attack, or two men? I'm not saying lesbians are not targeted. I'm not saying that at all. Okay? But if you look at the stats, what I'm saying is also true. Okay? What do we think? Who do we think is going to be more targeted or is going to be more likely to be victimized? Two men in a relationship or two women in a relationship? Okay. Did anyone have a guess there? Yeah. Yeah, men. Because there you go, Mr. King K. A lot there you okay. Yep, exactly, Loiso. A lot of times lesbians are viewed as it's almost like, because women are often viewed as objects, um, lesbians are often viewed, especially by in some societies, sort of a kink or like a something to be enjoyed and watched. Two men, though, are more viewed as a threat, okay? Because that is diminishing uh that is diminishing the masculinity of men. Yeah. Oh, you're totally right, Victoria. Like butch women get a lot more hate than feminine lesbians. Absolutely. And I would say that's also true for men, Victoria. Like effeminate gay men get a lot more hate than like masculine gay men. Yeah, there you go. That's what I mean. AMA. They experience this. They still experience homophobia, but it's less. It's a different kind. Let's put it that way. All right. But like there's lots of studies that show that gay men are more likely to be subjected to violence than like lesbians. But because a lot of it is like this and desire to enforce masculinity. Okay. There you go, Mr. I'm sure you have heard that, Mr. King on King. Okay. So anyway. All right, you guys. That's it. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's just an interesting thing. You're right, Carl. You're absolutely right. They had a third gender because, they had a third gender for sure. All right, you guys. What time is it? Okay. Um, yeah. Oh, you're totally right. That is very true, guys. I will say lesbians are much more likely to be sexually assaulted, like pretty much above and beyond. So I guess I really should frame that differently. Lesbian folks are much more likely to be sexually assaulted because they're women, and women are typically more likely to be sexually assaulted, which is horrific. Yeah, exactly. So, Cal. Okay, it's just interesting. There's been studies on this and a lot of analysis of this sort of thing. Okay, this sort of fear of and the fact that the genders are sort of invented. And what I mean by that is that the standards around genders are socially constructed. A lot of societies fear people who break those standards because it disproves the rule that it's a standard. You see what I mean? Okay. Yeah, exactly, Lois. So, okay, guys. So, um, yeah, absolutely, Victoria. Absolutely. Okay. Um, all right, you guys. Now, what was I going to do? I can't remember now. Oh, yes. So that's it. That's my little gay talk on gay, little talk here on gay history. It's my birthday. I can talk about what I want, right? I can talk about whatever I want. Thank you for everyone who's donated, by the way. Was this why dudes just get away with being the local shit? Kind of feel or no feel. Yeah, kind of. Okay. It's also about controlling the reproduction of women. I don't know, SoCal. Okay, guys. So let's see here. What else can we do? I'm not going to be on for, well, let's see here. I'll be on for a little bit longer here. Thank you everyone who's donated, really. Thank you very much for that. Let's see what else we can watch here. I did see there's something I wanted to react to. Okay, what kind of? I know I didn't talk much about the news today, folks. Let's see here. Let's try this. So this is from King K.
The cited FAA
King
text.
K, King K sent this. I will put my face back up. I'll put the screen back up here. I don't know what it is. As always, thank you so much, In Your Groove. Thank you very much. It's nice. Thank you. Thank you, In Your Groove. All right. Put the scene back up here. So let's just watch a few little things that people have sent me. Oh, God. Is Trump speaking right now?
But, hey, you got through it, you know? You got through
You know what?
Call it getting through. This country was so...
One second. We're not going to watch this. Yeah, it's Doug's birthday, too. Everyone say happy birthday to Doug. I demand it.
Murderers.
Shit.
What he did to this country, what they did, because it was...
So don't worry. We're not going to watch this. I'm just curious about what he's talking about at the moment, because this is live, apparently.
That beautiful, resolute desk. But just as I promised you that I've imposed a 25% tariff on all foreign automobiles, I'm standing up for the American auto worker like no president has ever stood up before. You know, those tariffs are keeping the foreign auto workers. Now, if they want to come in and build a plant and hire you and hire your friends and your neighbors, that's great. I love that.
Okay, we're done. I'm bored. All right. So if you guys, it's my goddamn birthday. If you want to go watch Trump, you can go watch Trump. Okay, God, more power to you. Bless you, children. God help you. Of course, Mithril. Of course he is. Of course. Oh yes, very true. Is Resident Union Thug here? Because it is Resident Union Thug's birthday too. For those who know who Resident Union Thug is. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew. Thank you. Yeah, guys, like, thank you very much. So if Resident Union Thug is here, I don't think it is, but happy birthday, Resident Union Thug, as well. All right. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much, Sir Bartholomew, for that gifted membership to Konami. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's horrific, Konami. That is horrific. Okay. That is absolutely horrific. Okay. King Jester, Antifa Doug, and Resident Union Thug. Okay. Oh, I was going to say it to Rut, but you got it. Of course I ignored you, so okay, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doug. Or not Doug, I'm sorry. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew. Thank you, In Your Groove. All right. So let's watch this thing that was sent to us by, where the hell did it go? Did I already lose it? I already lost it. See, this is why I need to be better about this. Okay, we'll just watch again. So let's watch this quick little clip that was sent to us by, are you still here, King K? You still here? And there's some other ones we can
Decided.
Okay, everyone ready? Let's watch it. This is called Trump Fact Checked Live in Real Time. Okay. For those that are new to the stream, we do a combination, by the way, of politics. Thank you, King K. Politics, history, anthropology, general rowdiness, a lot of inappropriate jokes, a lot of tea drinking, a lot of me yelling at chat. We'll play games. So I saw there were some new people here, and I know I want you to know, I know I just did some history stuff, guessing food. I kind of jump around, but I know the stream title might not reflect what we're doing right now, but we did talk about those things. Okay, we did talk about the Democrats. Okay, shall we continue, folks? Let's see what this has to say.
The FAA text that you read is real, but the cited FAA text that you read is real, but the implication that this policy is new or that it stems from efforts that began under President Biden or the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is demonstrably false. It's been on the FAA's website.
That, you?
No, it's on the website, the FAA's website. It was there in 2013. It was there for the
Take
entirety.
a look, what I read.
It was there for the entirety of your administration
Nice and
too.
easy.
So my
Hello,
question is,
Saga.
why didn't you change the policy during your first
I
administration?
did change it. I changed the Obama policy.
I have a treat for you. You deserve me to yell at you. Okay. Reading the title. Outer signal, how dare you? I was a teacher. I know what Rizz means. I know what Rizz means. I learned it from the children. Okay. I learned it from the kids. Okay. You know, I'm so cool and hip and up to date on everything. Don't you know that, Outer Signal? Of course I know what Rizz is. You think I'm backwards? What do you mean? I know the word Rizz. And 6'7", and like crap like that, 6'7", like I'm all into all the very cool stuff that kids know. I'm young and I'm vibrant, okay, and I'm 36 years old, so I'm near death, but still vibrant, okay.
policy.
Always adapting.
And we had a very good policy.
Exactly. Bright Love, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that meme, the hello, fellow children, that meme. All right.
And then Biden came in and he changed it. And then when I came in 2 days, 3 days ago, I signed a new order bringing it to the highest level of intelligence. Okay.
It was on the website.
Please.
Respectfully, it was on the website.
Okay. Well, that's funny. What did SoCal say? It was a typo. He was meeting Jay with his God. Okay. Why even talk to Trump? Why even? Oh my God! I fact checked in real time. He's literally a compulsive liar. Yeah. No. Seriously, Malzord. I don't like. Honestly, I think I'm part of the problem with this, Malzord. Journalists, they want access. It's good for their careers to get access, so they keep doing it, even though they're not getting any good information from it, because it's good for their careers to talk to Trump and get lots of views. So, okay. Hey, Bright Love, I know how you feel, all right? I know how you feel, okay? So thank you for that, Kinky. Let's see what else we got here to react to. Guys, would you like it if I'm going to be making an Italian dish for my birthday. And if I were to, when I make the Italian dish, would you guys like me to live stream me making the Italian dish? Because I could do that. That might be kind of fun. Oh, okay. Ooh. Dear God. Ooh, let's watch this. This is from Loiso.
This is one of the most concerning.
This is from Loiso.
This is one of the most.
I think this is a debut for Loiso. Debut coming down the staircase at the ball, about to give us a debut on Loiso's recommendations. It's called, the name of this is, excuse me, Bright Love, I'm good. I am good at cooking, okay? You know what? All of you? No, all of you, I'm going to give you all the middle finger. How dare you? How it does, I have a treat. It does. Just like I did a stream once where I showed you the Christmas cookies. And yes, I know Malzard still hates me because I never did the second stream after the cookies were done baking. But how dare you, Sir Bartholomew? Okay, I'm sorry, not Sir Bartholomew. Dolly Boy, you always do something. Are we done? Should I get chat off the screen? Should I put you all in timeout? Do you want me to put you all in timeout? You're a smart guy. Oh my God, I hate you so much. Anyone else? Do you want me to put you all in timeout? Okay. All right. Let's watch this. Yeah, I did. I said Sir Bartholomew. Everyone ready? Let's watch this. This is said from Loiso. Hello, Macy. This is why political language is less rational. Remember, folks, we read Umberto Eco's list of traits of fascism, and one of them is you have a less rational, less complex language, okay? Macy, I'm sure you did something, though. All right.
This is one of the most concerning graphs I've ever seen. We're looking at the emotionality of speeches made in U.S. Congress over time, and there are spikes around the Civil War and World War II like you might expect, but then everything starts rising in the 1970s. And here's another study which found that political speech has been getting less rational but more confident sounding since the late 20th century. It's not just politics either. Since the 1970s, the English language as a whole has seen a decline in people using rational words like fact, data, analysis, and conclusion, and an increase in irrational words like sense, belief, faith, and feel. The media theorist Neil
Oh, that is interesting. This goes back to what I said before. Remember I told you that there was that German phrase, Die Welt ist meine Vorstellung? The idea that reality is whatever I feel reality is. It doesn't matter what reality actually is. And there was a lot of crap going on. Like in Nazi Germany, there was a big sense amongst the Nazis of what matters is feeling and aesthetics, not rationality. So to see the language changing in a way where it's going more into aesthetics and more into emotion is very bad, okay? It's very bad, okay? Not good. Yep, postmodernism. And guys, one of these days, I'm going to do a stream on postmodernism. Postmodernism is good for some things, but it is not, in my opinion, a good for any sort of overarching political theory. We can talk about that. Not a fan of postmodernism, but it is useful for some methods of study. Thank you. Someone just did something. I don't know what someone just did. Thank you, London World. Thank you so much, London. London just gave Toya a gift sub. Thank you. Okay. For that, London, our glorious leader. All right. So let's see what else he says.
Neil Postman would argue that this is directly a result of the television, which fundamentally restructured our discourse as a form of entertainment. Now everything has to be shown as a moving image, which is inherently more emotional than the written word, and it's more important to grab people's attention with emotional language than speak sincerely with rational language. The real difference with the congressional speeches is that the 1970s is when they started being televised, so politicians started performing for the cameras in order to get catchy sound.
So, fun fact here about the television. I read a document when I was doing my grad school research by it was a political theorist, I think he was in the Republican Party, I can't quite remember, talking about how television is going to impact politics. And he said in this document, I need to look this up, maybe I can find it and show it to you guys sometime. He said that our goal ought to be to create a dyad, die meaning two, a dyad between the American family and their television. Now, a dyad means like a relationship. Like between a family, a person, or a person and their television. And a dyad implies no other connections. So everyone in America should be glued to their television and have a relationship with what they're being told through the television and not with anyone else around them. Create a dyad between the television and the person watching. A dyad, not a polyad or like with other people, but just with the person in their television. And sure enough, people started to become glued to their television. It made it a lot easier to control how people thought because they would just be they would just be focusing on whatever the mainstream news sources were saying. Thank you so much, London. Really, thank you, London. You can't hear, okay? Like it made it so that people couldn't think critically. It also made them afraid to talk to their neighbors because when they were looking only at their television and hearing all these horrible stories of things happening around them, you're not talking to your neighbors. You're not developing a class consciousness. You start to get worried about talking to your neighbors. And we have seen that over time, haven't we? And it's gotten also now that we have also a dyad with our phones or a dyad with our basically with social media. It's almost gotten worse, right? Because you don't have to necessarily watch a TV, but okay. So, and that's gotten a lot worse over time. But TV was a start to that. If you think that if you don't understand how the American government was able to justify so many crimes against people around the world and against its own citizens in the 1970s and 80s and things like that, that's why the television. All right, that's why. Okay? So just something to think about. I didn't know about this. This is super interesting how politicians started changing their language when the television came about. It makes sense.
Sound bites. That kind of thing then bleeds downstream into everybody else's rhetoric. And obviously now it's even worse with social media because the literal nature of virality rewards more emotional content. And you have to get shorter sound bites. And the attention thing literally got turned into metrics that we now have to optimize for. This is one of the most...
Correct. Okay. That's really good. Thank you, Loiso. I should also point out that it is not made easier by the fact that our economic system as it is set up very heavily limited the amount of time and limits the amount of time anyone has to do research or to organize or do anything like that in their free time. And the TV was an easy resource. Like if you get home from school or you get home from, like, what did most of you do? For those that are around my age, what would you do when you got home from school? It's very easy to just sit on a couch, watch TV. Your parents might even do the same, might have done the same thing. Dad or mom got home, they would sit and watch the TV. There's not much time. You just got home, you're tired, you want to sit down and relax, you flip on the TV. You're not going to hear much critical thinking on there. You're not going to have much strain on your brain because honestly, I don't blame you. You're tired. You've been working all day. It makes it really hard, okay? It makes it really hard to do research or think, okay? So it's not, a lot of times we will blame individuals for their lack of knowledge of what's happening in politics, but you have to understand our whole system is set up in a way that makes it really hard to be informed. Really hard. And it's easy to criticize people for not knowing, but when you consider the state of our work lives, our home lives, our education system, what do you expect to happen, right? Okay, so Yep, there you go, Meowzord. Okay.
Most concerning graphs I've ever seen. We're looking at the emotionality of speeches made in US Congress over time, and there are spikes around the Civil War and World War II like you might expect, but then everything starts rising in the 1970s. And here's another study which found that political speech has been getting less rational but more confident sounding.
Lois, sorry, I keep pausing this, guys. We're talking about a lot here. Loiso says, I would say MAGA's success can be a large part explained by the fact that their brand of hyper-accelerated populism is the first U.S. political movement fully adapted to the social media tempo. Yep, because the Democrats definitely weren't adapted to it. Okay, and I'd say the group that was sort of first at starting to go that way was the Tea Party, which was a right-wing group, and then the MAGA really did it well. Okay, so they were very much better at utilizing these platforms. Okay, which is why, guys, I'm not about unilateral surrender. If they're going to manipulate us that way, we should do it back to them. I just got to tell you.
Since the late 20th century. It's not just politics either. Since the 1970s, the
Oh, we just watched this. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Have I shown you guys Google Ngram? Google Ngram is actually used by researchers a lot of the time. So here we have Google Ngram. I'll put the link if you guys are interested. I've probably showed this on stream before. You can go to Google Ngram and you can type in any word. All right. And it will show you the usage of that word across published materials at any given year, because Google Books has a massive collection of books and articles, both from print and online, so you can see when certain words are being used. So let's try one, right? Let's try this. Let me try gay marriage. Okay, let's try Somalian. That's a good one. I can guess Somalian. All right. Right here in the 1980s, I think there was a famine going on in Somalia in the 80s. You can see that it was used a lot there. Right here in 2012, there was a big talk about Somalians, and it went up after the 60s, because that's when Somali immigration started kicking up, as I recall. Okay, yeah, thank you. There was a famine and a civil war. So you can see it goes up here, and then there appear, and this is great for historians, you can see where people stop talking about things and aren't as interested in them anymore. You can also see how, like, American focus is very waning. And of course, very recently, it started to go back up. But I'm not sure do we know what happened in 2005? That's interesting. I don't know what happened in 2005 that made it dip down there, or why it went back up in 2001. Probably because of the war on terror. Okay, let's try immigration. Oh, yeah, look at this. So from the 1960s onward, talk of immigration. Now, I should say from the 1970s. Now, what's interesting, folks, okay, first of all, we can go all the way back to the 1870s and see that there were spikes in talks about immigration whenever there were spikes in immigration. Okay, because people are xenophobic. The 1920s, there was a lot of talk of immigration, but you'll notice that in the late 1960s and 1970s, there was a big uptick going all the way up to the 2000s in immigration talk. You know why? Because there was a conservative backlash to the 60s, right? So after the 60s, the right wing was deeply afraid that they did not like a lot of the social changes. As Noam Chomsky said, the 1960s were a civilizing period for the United States. We saw a lot of progress in terms of our laws and things like that. The right wing started to do a pushback and tried to find scapegoats, since they were not popular in economic matters. So they started focusing on culture war issues, including things like immigration, the death of American culture, gay people. Now, there was also an increase in immigration in the 1960s, but I would guess a lot of this is from the right wing backlash to the 1960s. Okay, and of course, right now, we have another sort of uptick of that. All right. So that's interesting. Oh, that's true. It could be the piracy things, Louise. I'm not Louise. I'm Loiso. Okay. Anyone else? Civil War? Let's look up what Jonas said. Civil War. Now, I bet this one's going to be kind of all over the place. Yeah. Oh, who would have thought? In 1860s, talk of civil war was through the roof. Wonder why? Because America was about to be in a civil war. And you'll notice that even before, so this is interesting, even before the Civil War, there were ups and downs because there were a lot of conflicts going on between the North and the South, between slave owners and non-slave owners. And there was also a lot of chaos in early America due to a bunch of things, okay? And then if you go here, we get to the 1960s, and once again, you start seeing a spike as conservatives push back against the 60s. Reagan gets elected, it goes back down, and now ever since then, it's been going up and up and up and up and up. Talks of civil war, because we have not been changing things correctly, all right? So let me just quickly try here, Epstein. I'm sure that we're not going to see much of Epstein until recently. Yeah. Look at that. Very big spike. Well, actually, that's strange. In the 1980s, there was a big spike. I wonder why. Must have been something going on with an Epstein. But then very recently, another big spike. All right, so you can use Google Ngram Viewer to see what words are being used a lot. All right? Or like if I were to do AIDS, I bet you're going to see a big spike in the 80s. Yep. Look at that. Right? Look at that. Oop, all the way up to the 90s, early 90s. Big spike. Okay. All right. So it's super interesting. All right, you guys. So that's something else you can use. If you're ever curious, you can do, you can look at Ngram Viewer. And it's being used for research in some places. It's not a perfect thing, but it works in some ways. All right. Let me see here what else we got. Oh. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Oh, I wanted to see this. Okay, I hope this is short. If it's short, we'll watch it.
But
No, it's not short. Okay. I wanted to show you all. Did you hear about the weapons that the United States apparently used in Venezuela? Okay. I'll read it to you. Let me open this up. Sonic weapons. Venezuela. Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard about this. You know what? We'll go to Fox News just because I'm kind of funny. It'll be laughable to see what they say about it. Okay. So, what's that noise? Oh,
Welcome
God.
back, America. We're here with our good friend General Jack Keane, retired.
Oh, God. We don't need Mark Levin here, like the biggest murderous Zionist ever. Okay. So let's take a look here. Yeah, sonic weapons. I'll explain it to you guys. Give me a second. We don't need to look at Mark Levin. So there's a viral story from a man claiming to. I'm trying to find the original story here. I really want to find the original story. Man claims sonic weapons. And I want to find the original story, guys. So, okay. Well, I don't. This probably won't be great. So there was a guy, one of these former, and guys, we don't know fully if this is true yet. These are there's just accounts that are just accounts that have come out. We don't have verification, so please don't fully trust me on this. But okay, one of the guys who was one of the guards of Maduro, the U.S. used a powerful mystery weapon that brought Venezuelan soldiers to their knees, bleeding through the nose, and vomiting blood. Okay. A guard during a jaw-dropping interview said we were on guard, but suddenly all of our radar systems shut down without any explanation. The guard said the next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones flying over our positions. We didn't know how to react. Moments later, a handful of helicopters appeared, barely 8, deploying what were about 20 U.S. troops. Okay. He said that they were technologically advanced. We were hundreds, but now, guys, I want to point out, This is New York Post, so they're gonna make it sound cool, but this is like shooting fish in a barrel. This is like them slaughtering a bunch of people. So this is really gross, all right? Obviously. We were hundreds, but we had no chance. They were shooting with such precision and speed. It felt like each soldier was firing 300 rounds per minute. Terrifying, right? At one point, they launched something. Okay. Yeah, it is, Loy. So that's why I'm like, be careful, guys. There have been other people verifying it, but we don't know. Okay. At one point, they launched something. I don't know how to describe it, he said. It was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt my head was exploding from the inside. The effects were immediate and horrific. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon or whatever it was. All right. Uh, Okay, and then Caroline Levitt reshared this story. That could just be propaganda, all right, but still. So this is we there is evidence. We do know that the military has been trying to develop sonic weapons. These were special forces who might have access to some of those high tech weapons, but basically a sonic weapon that can cause intense pain when directed at you. I don't know if that would yeah, I don't know if there is a I don't know if it calls you to vomit blood, let's put it that way. It might. But it's very possible that we use yeah, blood bending basically. Yeah. You'd use these sonic weapons, they cause very very strong waves in the air, I guess. I'm not a scientist, forgive me. And it basically knocks you, it makes it impossible for you to stand up and like hurts your ears. I don't know, Mr. King K. I just saw this and it was terrifying because God, can we stop developing like some of the most cartoonishly horrific weapons known to man? Like I like just it's gross, right? I know. Okay, like by the way, that's a lot. The vibration. Thank you, Mr. King K. Like I don't know. It's just but that's our tax dollars, by the way. Like I don't know why we're wasting money. It can rupture organs, as Mr. King is saying. I don't know why we should be wasting money on developing horrific. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely, Lois. So they've worked on. Russia did develop sonic weapons. They actually sometimes use that, and the KGB used to use them on dissenters and things like that. Yeah, but like I know the USA has been perfecting like battlefield ready ones that are much more powerful. And we, yeah, okay. So, yeah, phosphorus bombs. And can we just, I've shown this to you guys before. I've showed this to you guys before. There are all kinds of weapons out there, and I think it's deeply important. I think it's deeply important us for understand the barbarity of all this shit. Okay, what these things do to your body. Does anyone know what white phosphorus is? This is illegal according to international law, but we still have it. We still have stockpiles of white phosphorus, and apparently we used it in Fallujah in Iraq. Okay, let me show you here. This is white phosphorus, and I've been trying to make sure I don't get any images. Okay, this shit is white phosphorus, and I guess we used it in Syria too. Apparently, all right. Yeah, the IDF used it in Gaza. Without going into too much detail here, it is a chemical compound, phosphorus, that burns at an extremely high temperature. It will literally just melt through you, and cause fires. And you just spray it all over the place and it burns and destroys things. It can like burn through concrete, I think, as I recall, because it's so goddamn hot. And it is illegal because it is not a pleasant way to go. And the United States, and I don't want to show pictures, but the United States still uses that shit and then always denies it. Yep, it sticks to your skin and then you can't get it off and you just slowly burn. Even if it doesn't kill you, it's going to burn through your skin and bone. And like completely barbaric weapon. And we just use it. Yeah, Meowzor. We just use it. Yep. Thank you, Bright Love. I'm not a scientist. Thank you for saying all that. The water in the air ignites it, like real barbaric stuff. So like when it always drove me crazy when you hear the media talking about things like we did a strike here or we did a strike there. I don't think that really covers what we're doing. Like what does that strike entail? It typically will entail blowing people to tiny pieces or burning them alive. All right. I've shown you all before a Hellfire missile. I've shown this to you guys before. Hellfire missile blades. This is a missile that, for those who haven't seen it, I'm sorry. I know this is like a repeat for some people. That is, okay. That is supposed to be, according to the U.S. military, is more, what's the term? Is more humane. This is what the American military calls a humane weapon. Okay. The flying Ginsu. Let's take a look at this. Okay. What this weapon does, all right, I'll show it to you, is it is a missile that doesn't have explosives on it, right? Because that's what makes it humane, guys. It's humane because it doesn't go boom. Because if it goes boom, it can kill more innocent people, according to their reasoning. But what this weapon does is that you hit it at the target, and these massive blades are sticking out of it, and it just chops up anyone it hits. It just cuts you into pieces. Look at that. It looks like a joke. Like it looks like a caricature of a barbaric weapon with these massive blade sticks, meter-long blades sticking out of it. And yeah, for real, it is a literal weapon, and it's named after Japanese kitchen knives. Nope, no Hellfire in the Hellfire missiles, just blades. And if you listen to interviews with the American, yeah, it is. If you listen to interviews with American Defense Department people, they're like, this is a more humane weapon. This is a more humane weapon. We use it to kill top-level terrorists without an explosion. It's much more humane when it literally just chops you into little pieces with big blades. So that's what our weapons are doing, all right? They are chopping people up and burning them and blowing them into pieces. Yay! God bless America. I want to show you, we actually used one of these. We actually use one of these weapons to kill al-Zawahiri, the Al-Qaeda leader. We fired one of these things through a window and killed him. And the media was celebrating, saying things like this, okay, with minimal collateral damage. So they were like, oh, this was a great strike. We hit him with this bladed. Yeah, we hit them with this bladed weapon and didn't cause any collateral damage. How absolutely humane of us. You know, okay, I guess. But is that really where we're going to limit our morality, is being like, oh, well, it didn't kill anyone innocent, I guess. So it's okay because it's only right. It's only chopping people up without blowing up. So, yeah, we only killed 20 civilians this time. And by the way, I don't even believe this crap. The photo showing the home in the heart of Kabul where the Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed in a CIA drone strike earlier this week shows very little structural damage, and U.S. officials say that no one else was injured. Okay. Okay. The flying Ginsu. And all these defenses, like, this was an awesome strike. This was an awesome strike. So humane. Okay. You guys get my point here, all right? So, not a big fan of weaponry like this, okay? Not a big fan. Yeah, press X to doubt. So, okay. And then this is ABC, of course, defending it. All right. And Joe Biden was saying that they took every step to minimize the possibility of civilian casualties. Yeah, so we just chopped him up with Ginsu blades as opposed to blowing him up. Okay. You guys got it, okay? So, all right, that's fun. Gotta love that for us, right, guys? Gotta love that for us. So this is what we're going to do, folks. I'm going to go. All right. Thank you, everyone. I know this is a very quick thing here. Normally I don't stream on Wednesdays, but I think I will stream tomorrow. Yeah, Mr. Kincaid, because I'm not streaming as long today. I'll probably stream tomorrow, even though I normally don't. When I'm considering coming on
My
again
name is
later.
Whitney Allen. I'm a widow.
Oh,
and
shut
my
up,
husband,
ABC.
Ryan,
I just told a widow to shut up. Aren't I a nice guy? So I might stream tomorrow. I might stream later when I start making that food, because I like kind of streaming when I'm making food. So you guys, we can just chat and you can see the food I'm making, the Italian food I'm making. So I'm gonna go celebrate my birthday, etc. How's everyone doing out there? Everyone good? Let me see what people are talking about. All right, everyone good? I know. As a matter of fact, it appears as though the U.S. is going to be Gnocchi, Meowzord, Gnocchi. I guess I honestly, I don't know how to speak Italian, but I love this dish, Gnocchi. Anyone know how to pronounce it? I need to look up how it's pronounced. They are potato dumplings. So they are little noodles that are potato. Let me show you. I'll show you guys what I'm making. Okay. Now I can hand make these. Gnocchi. Okay, gnocchi. Excuse me. I just have Italian ancestry, so why would I know? This is gnocchi or gnocchi. Excuse me. Regardless, I can make it by hand, but I didn't make it by hand this time because I don't have enough time before dinner. But normally I can make it by hand. I actually have a way to make it by hand. But where's my? But here is what gnocchi is. Okay, it are these little potato and flour dumplings. And what I'm gonna do is I am making a gnocchi or gnocchi, excuse me, dish that has it's kind of like a casserole. So it has gnocchi, meat sauce or gnocchi, meat sauce, and then basil, layers of cheese on top of it, and then me too, Victoria, some pretty greenery on top. And it's going to be baked and it's going to be delicious. And I'm very excited for it. And then we're having fresh Italian bread as well. So I'm going to be making that and I can show all of you. Right. Thank you, Malzor. Thank you. I might have a glass of wine, because I need, daddy needs a drink. Let's put it that way. It'll probably look something like this. This isn't exactly it, but it'll probably look something like this. Okay. A baked Italian dish with gnocchi. Okay. So very excited about that. Thank you, Louise. Thank you. All right. So very excited about that. And I'm going to need to take some time to make that crap. Maybe I'll come on when I start. And you guys, if you want to come to my gnocchi stream, you can. And I'll chat to all of you. All right. Okay. Yes, it is. It's very easy. It's very easy if you don't hand make the noodles, which is why I'm not hand making them this time. I have a little device for hand making the noodles, but I decided to just buy them this time, so I don't have to take the time on my birthday to make the noodles. But all right, so we'll be doing that. Okay, folks. Thank you all for watching. You all know what I'm about to say to you. Thank you for everyone who contributed. I'll come back on tomorrow, as always. First of all, free Palestine, free Sudan. Free the Ukrainian people, viva Venezuela, and protect Greenland. Now, never stop resisting, okay? Don't blindly obey authority figures. That includes when you watch me. I will say things that I think are true, and then I only later realize, oops, because I'm a human being. Every person you see online makes those mistakes. So just be cautious listening to me or anyone on the internet, because even if we're almost 100% sure we're right, sometimes we can be wrong because we're humans, okay? So that includes when you watch me. Don't get caught in an information silo. See what other people are saying too, okay? Secondly, we're living in a fascist moment in this country, not only in this country, but in other countries around the world. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions because it's no longer providing for them. Okay, we need major reforms in this country. Okay, you cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the elites, by the way, and the fascists will walk all over you. And the elites were walking all over you before the fascists were. And the reason that the fascists have so much power is because of the elites. So just remember, we got an issue here with the elites, as we talked about earlier. All right. We need major reforms. You cannot stand in the center. Don't be a slug. Don't let the fascists walk all over you and your family. Okay. On the wall behind me is a sword. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. It's been passed down in my family for many years. Chainbreaker is thought to have been responsible for the death of at least 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there? To remind everyone that our ancestors made some major sacrifices. Okay. Major sacrifices for some of the things we have today, including some of the rights we have, some of the freedoms we have, rights for women, civil rights, economic rights, labor rights. We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, folks. They literally died, a lot of them, for us to not have to suffer like they did. And we cannot forget their sacrifice. And please, 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 please do not let their sacrifice go to waste. I'm telling you as a historian, like I just can't, like it makes me sad. Don't let their sacrifice go to waste. And always, 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 always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, you all have a good rest of your day, morning, evening, noon, night, wherever you may be in the world. I'll come back on either later today, probably later today, and definitely tomorrow. Love you all very much. Join our Discord if you haven't already. Bye-bye.